seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So here we have ourselves the next pick.
Radiant team pick.
Ooh. Alright. The global silence being available for us. Oh, it seems like I actually wasn't talking properly before the game started. So hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final tribe versus Vega Squadron, if you haven't heard already. This is the first round of the loser bracket here at the DreamLeague Season 10, where the loser will get eliminated and get summarily sent home. We've already seen Team Runes, Banana Slammer Jammer Squad being eliminated thus far. So we're going to hope, for the sake of all the boys, the fans, the people that are out here giving their support towards either of these squads, that your team is not the one that ends up being caught out as well. I do wonder though, with this Morphling pick, this is going to be the second game today that we've seen Morphling being picked up in the very early portion of the draft. We saw this happening with Infamous earlier, and they ended up beating out Runes because of it. Final tribe. The next pick that they definitely need to go for here is going to be something that's going to help them finish off kills. And the Lina... Oh, apparently this link isn't working. This is odd. Wait, let me see what's happening here. Okay, it works for me. Okay, let me try again.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Vega's final hero here. Oh wait, snap. I know what the problem is. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, that's on me. But the problem should be elided now. Should be all good. So at the very end of this draft, I am looking forward to seeing what Vega Squadron is going to choose to end off with, given that they still need a mid laner to go up against this, either the Morana or the Lina. I kind of suspect that Final Tribe will end up putting the Morana safe lane, Ursa in the off lane, then Lina will go mid. Although they could still decide to put either the Morana or Lina in the support capacity rather.
Radiant team back.
So Arc Warden is the final ban here from the side of Vega Squadron. They are not going to be taking any risks or any chances by leaving that hero available in the field. I'm completely fine with that though, right? You don't want to give the Final Tribe. This is one of these heroes, Arc Warden, and like every now and then they still pick Meepo. So they'd be picking stuff which actually helps them at the very end of their drafts. They end off with a Wraith King. That is particularly interesting. So is this pos 5 Wraith King or pos 4 Ursa? I think we're definitely going to be seeing Winterwaven play position 5 this game. The only question is whether or not Ursa or Wraith King goes offlane. And I think they'll answer that question by seeing what the last pick is now for Vega Squadron. I do suppose at the moment, against Morphling, the lane is a little bit easier for the Ursa to play. I do suppose though that with the Wraith King also being online, you have constant access to the lifesteal. Keep yourself topped up, don't put yourself in a situation where you end up falling behind in the lanes.
Choose your hero.
Ah, okay. Last pick Invoker. I guess this is Vega Squadron also getting themselves some insurance, right? Because if you go for this Invoker at the very end of the game, you're also disincentivizing Final Tribe from actually putting this Wraith King into the position 3. But still, does look like it's going to be a core Wraith King. So, looks like they were right on the money for Vega Squadron to decide to go for this last pick Invoker. And they picked this for Dendi. I mean, there was a time when this was... You know, Dendi's Invoker is okay. I'll be honest, right? I've never, even though I was a hyper, super gay fan of Dendi, I was never really hype on his Invoker. Always felt he was better on heroes like the TA if he was going to be snowballing. But nevertheless, we have the Invoker, and we're going to be getting underway. I am particularly excited to see how Chessie is going to play against Dendi mid. I feel like Chessie's been perennially underrated. I think he's a lot better than what basically all of us give him credit for. But, you know, just being better in an oblique sense, you know, abstractly, is not the same as actually being the better player. So he's going to have to play out that game just to see what's going to be happening. So Final Tribe versus Vega Squadron. Ladies and gentlemen, the drafts being selected by everyone. Everyone's buying their items. The game's going to be exciting as hell. And here we go. Here we go. Final Tribe. Also, it seems like Frost is the one that's playing this Wraith King. So they're putting this Wraith King in the pause 1. Then Chessie will go mid handling the Lina. That's the one thing I'm not too sure about. I'm not too sure how much I still feel about this Wraith King being able to go into the safe lane. But we'll see. Final Tribe here playing on the Radiant side. I'll be up against Vega Squadron. Final Tribe, you know, even though they are here in the lower bracket, right? They didn't do too terribly in the GSL group stages. They did manage to beat out the Runes. And they did manage to take a game off of Royal Never Give Up twice in a row. So, and they're going to try now for a level 1 Roche strat. Oh my god. Unless they're doing this as a, oh okay, let's see if they think we're going to be crazy enough to make this happen. They should be doing this. Oh my god, Hanskin. Guys. What's the point of hiding inside a Roshan pit if you're not going to get a Roshan kill? Looks like Vega are going to come check it out. Come see what's happening. And Peksu, he's going to be the one that gets found out here. And they're going to take away his life. So there shall be no level 1 Roche, but there shall be a debate towards making that happen. And the Final Tribe leading things off with the first blood for Chessie on the Lina here in the mid lane. Frost does seem like he definitely will be playing the pause 1 carry on the Wraith King. Other side of the map, we do see Jonas Farm, the off lane for this team. He's in the position 3, playing this Morana. Era will be playing the Winter Wyvern, and last but not least, Hanskin will be rolling around on this Ursa Warrior, trying to make life as difficult as possible for Madara. Madara himself on the Morphling for Vega Squadron here on the dire side. Behind him is going to be Peksu, who unfortunately ended up being the first blood of this game. In the mid lane, we do have Dendi Boss, the legend, TI winner right here, playing on this Invoker. Down towards the bottom side, Kezu will be on the Axe. And last but not least, maybe next time, MNT, who for me personally, back on the old Adfinem / Mouse Sports lineup, he for me was by far their best player. Like, actually by far. MNT is actually an incredible player. But we'll be seeing how things are going to break out here. This bottom lane is pretty decent for Hanskin. To harass out the Axe. Kezu will be spending a lot of his time trying to make sure that the Ursa doesn't get too many hits off onto him, which means less time being capable of sitting right in front of the Wraith King's face and continually denying him any kind of farm. They're going to perhaps get a kill onto MNT. They know there's no Icarus dive. They're looking towards this Phoenix. The Fury swipes are stacking off, but there's also damage and right clicks coming in from Kezu. MNT juking through the trees. One more right click. Actually, 2 now. Thanks to the Fairy Fire. Should be enough to kill him. And he is doomed. Got him. Phoenix is dead. Nothing you can do because Ursa is faster than Phoenix. So, you know, that was going to happen eventually, whether anybody liked it or not. In the mid lane, this is interesting. Dendi is going to be playing X-Sword Invoker. It's actually been a minute since I've seen X-Sword Invoker in games being picked without the Faceless Void. And I think he's going to lose this laning phase as a result. I don't think X-Sword Invoker does nearly as well as the Wex one in this kind of matchup. Just because you don't have the Tornado to easily throw out some creeps. So if you get a little bit behind on the CS, thanks to the laning mechanic of the Lina, you can just fall absolutely behind. And top, Madara almost died here. Forced to go very deep into the strength morph. They're going to try and kill him. Jonas and Farm doesn't have the Starfall. Does have another leap though. In the meantime, they do get a kill onto Dendi in the mid lane. Jonas and Farm cannot bring down Madara. And Chessie, oh, the lane is easy enough for him as is without being able to get an early kill onto Dendi. And now Dendi, having lost his life, will be playing from behind. Both experience, CS, and net worth wise, it's going to be pretty rough for him. Down at bottom, do you see MNT fell quite low, but Frost is also kind of slow himself. Not going to waste his time trying to chase down a Phoenix for no immediate gain. Kezu now just creep skipping this wave, forcing the small flank to farm underneath the tier 1 tower. I mean the Wraith King to farm underneath the tier 1 tower constantly. And Frost doesn't actually have much in the way of items to help him CS right now besides his hatchet, so he's not going to be enjoying this process very much, but it should still be fine. He'll be able to survive for the most part. Do you see Kezu? Kezu has to be kind of careful here. He knows that he has some protection from MNT, but maybe next time can't do everything. Can't do everything. We turn our attention back towards mid. So firstly, they just lost their courier, and look at Dendi. Dendi is on 4 CS right now. Erstwhile Chessie is sitting on 16 and 9. He has more CS than Dendi has total lost hits and denies combined. He has more denies than that, or at least the same amount of denies. This is kind of crazy. Like, I've seen Invokers lose this matchup before, but never like this. This is pretty rough for them. Feels like Chessie is going to be having a pretty easy game here in this, like, leading off from the mid lane. I mean, he's equivalent experience as Dendi, or at least at the same level. But Chessie is absolutely dominating him here. And Madara at top. They're going to try and put some damage out onto him with the Splinter Blast. But Era can't really force Madara back. They have managed to force back Axe though and the Phoenix. We see MNT just pulling for his Axe and Axe. Kezu is back at base, healing up, which gives complete free farm towards Frost here. So the side of the final tribe having the final say in everything that happens in this laning phase. The only way it's going well is top somewhat, where Madara is still getting farm, but Jonas and Farm is not that far behind him in terms of overall CS as well. So you draw even in one lane, but you dominate two others. You're happy with this situation. And the domination at mid continues. Dendi is now being doubled up in his CS. It is getting a little bit better though. Now that he has a few more points into the Quas Orb, or at least one more point, has a little bit better regen. Still not completely enough to ensure that he's always going to be in a happy position. At top, Madara is falling very, very low. He's out of regen items now though. Fortunately, we'll always have the ability to morph because it's a freaking morphling. And for whatever reason, don't ask me, right? But for whatever reason, Ice Frog decided, you know what? Does this hero need mana cost to nerf? Nah, it's chill. Let him do what he wants. We're going to see some beef, some contestation of the 5-minute runes. Seems Vega Squadron are only going to get the one that they managed to pick up at bottom. Hanskin not going to be in danger even, because Kezu knows you can't really, it doesn't have Berserker's Core first and foremost. But secondly, even if he did, what are the odds that he actually wants to call an Ursa? Sure, it might be support Ursa, but Fury Swipes still do the most to the axe in general. The only way that you're comfortable jumping on an Ursa as an axe is if you have Blade Mail. Beyond that, you're never going to be happy with the situation. Madara will shrine up now, head back into the lane itself. But in the time that he's been gone, Jonas and Farm has surpassed him in CS. And while he's gone, Peksu did come middle just to try and help Dendi a bit. And it's not getting any easier. Top lane, Madara will waveform through. A Splinter Blast will catch him. He'll dodge the arrow. He's been really on point at making sure he doesn't get caught with the arrow. This might be one of those rare games in which we see Marana going for that Manta Diffusal build to try and deal with this Madara Morphling. Actually, I don't even think that build is that bad this game, because the Manta style will also help in terms of your right-click prowess versus the Phoenix Supernova. So you might not even need to commit the leap, even though leap, just as a natural thing, completely counters out what the Phoenix is able to put out in the fight, unless you manage to get all 3 Fire Spirits directly onto her. And will they be trying to smoke here? Is it coming off the courier? They do have one for Era, so they could try and make a play. But I think Era might end up heading off by himself just to get some vision out for his team. He's going to plant a ward here. He's going to get spotted. Oh, he's going to de-ward first. Nicely done, Era. Nicely done. First one at bottom. Kezu is in trouble. Wraithfire Blast will catch him. He's going to lose his life. The Axe, Frost, being able to burn him out with the level 2 Wraithfire Blast, will now also put a point into the reincarnation. So this Wraith King Frost, actually Hanskin should leave here. I think as it stands right now, unless Phoenix and Axe are both here, I think Hanskin should leave, keep a TP available, and come back if he has to. They're gonna try to get Chessie killed at middle though. Cold Snap is out onto him, but unfortunately MNT can't find the angle with the Icarus Dire Fire Spirits. Their communication just wasn't there for the side of Vega Squadron. Dendi went a little bit too soon with the Cold Snap. As a result of that, they are just going to end up wasting a lot of time for both the Phoenix as well as Peksu Silencer here at top. And he should be able to stack up this camp as well as they get the bounty rune. It's gonna go the way of Chessie. This is a big deal. Invis rune bottled up for the Lina. At top we see Madara. He's gonna be the one in danger right now. The Invis rune has been triggered up. And Lina, she is now headed to the top side of the map. Can she find the LSA is the question. She doesn't need it. Dragon Slave, Laguna Blade. Madara dies before he can even start morphling properly. And in the mid lane, Dendi had an idea that something was awry. He was playing very carefully, sitting on this right hand side. But the Invis rune too strong. And Madara will experience his first death at top. Can they get some revenge onto Era, however? Last word triggered out onto the Winter Wyvern. Wyvern falling very low. One more right click from Peksu. And the Silencer will be the one to claim that kill. Era fallen towards the ground. Can do not really much about that. You know, you get killed, what can you do, guys? What can you do? Ooh, the Madara morphling. Still needs to find the Morbid Mask as well as the Power Treads. Definitely not the kind of game where you can afford to go for an E-Blade here. Gonna have to go for Lincoln Sphere as soon as humanly possible to prevent what just happened to him from happening again. And this is the kind of game I can easily imagine the Lina deciding to build an Orchid rather than her general Octarine or Shadow Blade build or even the Bloodstone build. Easily could be an Octarine game or an Orchid game. Kezu in some kind of trouble, gonna get surrounded right now. Battle Hunger flies out onto Hanskin. But I think Hanskin is just making sure they can get back into the lane. MNT will come upon him. Some attention is dedicated towards the Ursa. Frost gets off the Wraithfire Blast. Can he get off the crit? Yes, he got this kill. No, he does not. Kezu saves his life with the Berserker's Call. But this will secure 2 bounty runes for the team at bottom and guarantee them 3 overall at the very least. They get the 2 at bottom. Oh no, got denied. Madara denied the 1 bounty rune. LSA will connect onto him though. Arrow now will also find Madara. Madara's going to be in trouble. Was this hashtag worth? He gets the leaps off. Manages to swap back from the morph just in time to finish off the 3rd leap as well. Dragon Slave will not connect. That was not worth it. He gets the bounty rune denied and he manages to not die. But because he's going to be forced back to base, again, this is time. They desperately need this morphling to win this game for them. It has not been going well in their other lanes. I mean, Dendi now has had quite a lot of time to, at the very least, get some levels. He's level 8 at the moment. And he just picked off the completed wand. But he's very behind the Lina. And Hanskin, is he going to die here or is he going to find himself getting saved by Era? Era's going to come in. Splinter Blast will fly out onto MNT. Chessie just wants to find the Dragon Slave. Does get it out onto the Phoenix. Gets the kill. Dominating streak for the Lina. 11 minutes into this game. Has himself 4 kills. Look how unafraid he is. He's right in front of Dendi's face, hitting this tier 1 tower. And he knows there's absolutely nothing that Dendi can do about it at this point. This Invoker in dire straits. Wraith King will finish off the Omelet of Mordigian. Is this a Radiance game? I think he blows Blink Dagger first, then he can decide if he wants to buy Radiance. Personally, I would be perfectly fine if he decided to go rather for the Basher build, so he can get the immediate Abyssal Blade lock onto Madara. The more ability to control Madara, the better. And they have smoked right now, the side of Vega Squadron, Dendi and Peksu heading down towards the bottom lane. Hanskin might pop the smoke, and he does. And he does. Big plays from the Ursa there. Keeping Frost alive. Frost just TP's top. He's like, oh, you guys are trying to kill me. I guess I'm out. Bye. They will now commit the Moonlight Shadow, however. Jesse just wants to finish off this tier 1. Did Jonas Farm think that maybe somebody was behind this tier 1 tower at top? Not completely sure, but they do want to get both. They rotated Frost up here. He's got the level 4 into the Mortal Strike, so mass summon on the skeletons. And it's time to go. Time to push down the tower. Should definitely fall. So they've just managed to find 2 tier 1 towers. Very short span of time. Vega Squadron will be able to claim a singular one at bottom. They need to give this to Madara. Oh, okay, Dendi taking it is okay as well. It gives them the Inner Shadows. Can start progressing towards having the Spirit Vessel. It might again want to be one of those few games where I advocate for somebody to pick up the Hand of Midas. Just because of how absurdly difficult it's going to be for Dendi to catch up this game. He's actually going to die. If someone's dying at mid, and he's going to go and help them and get killed too. MNT, one more right click. Oh, he's going to pop the Supernova to stay alive. Another cold snap onto Jonas Farm. Going to be a triple leaps away. And Dendi, underneath the Sentry Ward, going to find himself in a lot of trouble. The Magic Wand will be used by him to stay alive. Earthshock will be there, definitely blast to push back the Ursa. Hanske not done just yet on the backside. Jesse will find Peksu. Just rotate it on him. Using this newly bought Yule Scepter from Jesse. Man, Jesse's getting huge. And I honestly think that a big Lina is much scarier than a big Wraith King. I mean, Wraith King now has the Blink Dagger, right? Alright, so he did decide. I'm very glad that this is the build he went for. Blink Dagger first, then you'll decide what you want afterwards. If you want anything a little bit more esoteric, such as the Abyssal Blade, or if you're gonna stick to the tried and true and go for Radiance and or the Blade Mail. Morphling does now finally finish off some power treads, but look how far behind Madara is. 800 gold behind the position 3 Lina or Mirana. 3,000 gold. And that is not an exaggeration. 3,000 gold behind Chessie as well as Frost. They're getting dumpstered right now, Vega Squadron. 14 minutes into game number 1. And Frost with Jonas Farm. Once again, he uses the level 4 into the Mortal Strike, summons a rash of skeletons. And they shall proceed to whittle down the health of this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Hero has shown his face, and now that he has level 6, they have ability to Winter's Curse someone. They might be able to find Chessie in the mid lane, perhaps, if he reveals himself. And they know he's here, but they don't have any jump for him either. Kezu is nowhere near. Kezu does have gold for the Blink Dagger, however, even though he doesn't have that as an inventory at the moment. Still has to fly out from the courier. They do not find Peksu. Wow! There was Peksu over here, now he's gone. And they should be able to easily, you know, this is very reminiscent of the play they pulled at the 0-minute mark to go for this Aegis. This time, it's definitely possible for them to do, given the fact that they have Frost with a point into the Vampiric Aura, as well as Hanskin having 2 points Fury Swipes, Overpower, as well as Enrage. This should happen. Kezu, though, looking for the jump. They get it in. The Tornado was onto 2. Winter's Curse as well. Supernova is going to land out on the backside of the fight. Hanskin might be falling low. Dendi in a little bit of trouble, but they're going to be fine. Frost doesn't have enough damage to actually get the kill. So Supernova triggers, and there was a Winter's Curse, but no one's died just yet. Jesse does manage to find the pickoff onto Kezu. Arrow flying forward. The Rayfire Blast finding onto the Phoenix. Phoenix will end up dying. Jesse finds the LSA. They've caught Madara. Madara will be able to morph back into the Morphling form, but it's not going to save his life. He's still going to end up dying. Double kill for the Lina. 3 heroes have gone down. Dendi got off a pretty sick Tornado to lead off the fight, but was unable to complete it in terms of the damage output they needed to win thereafter. And the Roche will now fall in favor of the side of the final tribe. Lina is the one that's going to pick up the Aegis. A Lina with a second life when she is almost level 15. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to hear if I'm the side of Vega Squadron. I feel really bad for Peksu. He tried there with the global, but the global came out only after the Winter's Curse was already used by Era. So they couldn't really do too much because where the Invoker was caught the curse right here, right? So the entire area around the Roshan pit is unapproachable for the rest of Vega Squadron. Even though they have a Supernova in the pit and an Axe that got off an okay call onto 2 heroes. Couldn't do anything else. And also they just don't have damage. Madara is too weak right now to actually fight. They need to do something desperately about Murderer here. I mean, Kezu's trying, right? But only so much an Axe can do by himself. Axe sets up for the team. Doesn't win the fight individually for them. The Moonlight Shadow will be used, but they will pick it out from Kezu. They had an Observer Ward down here at bottom. So, making this movement immediately revealed. They're still going to try for this, though. They're going pretty far. Hanskin and Pexu and the boys. With this Observer Ward, they should be able to see one of these heroes. So, they know something's happening. But the heroes are too spread apart for it to mean anything. Oh, Jesse, though, will find the solo kill onto Madara. Didn't even Yules him. Actually, this was very smart, right? One of the reasons you don't want to go in with the Yules kill onto Morphling is because Morph can instantly start popping the attribute shift as he comes down to the ground. However, Chessie, it seems, went in for the raw LSA, caught the Morphling off guard, and then instantly uses Laguna Blade to make sure that that kill happens without a hitch. And again, Frost, classic move, Mortal Strike, the summons of the Star Skeletons, and they're now pushing at bottom. With this DD rune on Jesse, I think you keep going for the high ground. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, right now, honestly. You still have this Aegis on the Lina. But I suppose they don't want to be too provocative right now, especially because Hanskin is at mid, pushing out this wave so that they can turn this tier 2 tower push into 2 tier 2 towers as fast as possible. Chessie has used the Shadow Blade. Just gonna find Pexu. He hit him once and Laguna'd him once and he died. That's amazing. Chessie is 9-0-1 on the Lina. Top lane, Kezu. Gonna get brought down by Yonasan Farm as well. Nobody is safe right now for the Vega Squadron lineup. Anyway, they get caught out on the map, they can just get eviscerated. Like, look at middle. Frost just jumping onto MNT. MNT gets forced off the way by Dendi. But now there will be a Yule Scepter LSA combination. They should be able to find this one. Oh, nice. The Tornado from Dendi, creating a little bit of space with the Deafening Blast as well. But that means that both spells are on cooldown. So they'll be like, oh, wait, sweet. We don't get a Phoenix kill, but we get them to burn Tornado, EMP, and Deafening Blast. We're okay with this. And that is the final tier 2 tower on the map, taken away. The final tribe are crazy ahead right now. 16,000 gold is their lead against Vega Squadron. Experience 12,000 at the moment. It seems like Vega Squadron has smoked themselves to try and find a reprisal kill somewhere. Dendi is following Kezu around. But Yonasan Farm doesn't seem like he's going to get caught here. Uses one of his leaps, get over the cliff. Going to pick up some bounty runes as well on the way out. So not only does this smoke net them nothing, they also lose out on all the gold available across the map. On the bright side, the Phoenix does now pick up level 10, which gives the plus 90 gold talent. So at some point, we will see MNT being able to contribute to his team in some capacity. But it's going to be quite far in the future. Look how poor him as well as Pexu are. MNT has 4,000 gold overall. Pexu has 1,000 net worth. Feels bad, man. Just had to buy so many sentries to try and deal with the Shadow Blade, to try and deal with this Moonlight Shadow, to try and deal with the possibility that you've been warded on your side of the map. Okay, this ward I don't get. The one that just expired here doesn't really do anything for them. And all this time, TFT are just buying big ticket items, man. And look at Frost. Frost is buying a game-ending item, going for this Desolator. I don't see this item at all anymore. We're going to see Yule Scepter laid out onto Kezu. LSA will not connect, but Frost, they really want to find Dendi. Dendi falling a little bit low. There's going to be a Global Silence as well as a Supernova, but the Supernova was not followed up with by Fire Spirits. It's going to pop, but it's not going to stun anybody. Chessie still running away. Oh, huge Blink Core coming in from Kezu, and they're going to be able to get the kill immediately onto the Lina. There's no Aegis to save her life. Buyback coming in from her to try and keep this game back on front. Frost Not gonna die just yet. Arrow flying forward. Hanskin gonna try and run away from the damage that Madara can deal, who's morphed right now into the Lina form. Frost on the backside of the fight managed to bring down Pexu. The buyback from Jesse gonna get Adaptive Struck, looking to get the kill onto Madara. Madara looking to get the waveform into the Roshan pit, TP away. Should be able to escape. The arrow was on the right trajectory, but unfortunately at the wrong time. So they get Pexu as well as Kezu. Takes them quite a lot of effort to bring down the kill onto Jesse, but they succeed eventually. Jesse was forced to buy back for that one, which delays somewhat the BKB, but we're only 22 minutes into the game. So, man, that's actually an expensive buyback. I think Jesse was afraid that the team might end up losing the next engagement without the possibility of chain LSAs and Laguna Blades. Kezu did well though to ensure that they got that kill onto Jesse. Had Jesse been able to make away from here and survive that fight, it would have been really bad. Especially because they committed the Supernova as well as the Global Silence. Speaking of Global Silence, Pexu only has 4 intel to his name because his team only has 2 kills. Something I hadn't even thought about. The fact that they only have 2 kills. That's something. Jesse finds Madara. Madara might be able to get some revenge here though. And they're gonna get the jump. Here's Kezu. The Sunstrike will connect onto Jesse. Jesse wants to try to turn around into this with the DD rune. Hanskin has triggered out the enrage already, so they might be able to get the return kill onto the Ursa, who was creating space for the Lina to be able to escape. And that will be the case, giving the 6th. Would it be? They can't even kill the support. Okay, finally. But unfortunately, they kill him away from Pexu, so no intelligence for you. Feels bad. That took forever. Everything they had went into trying to bring down that Ursa. I mean, they do eventually get the kill, but man. And Jonas and Farm, meantime, kept pushing in the creep wave towards the tier 3 tower at top. Madara still looking to finish off this BKB. All we see mid lane, the toss up into the air. EMP with the Ice Wall onto Era. And there's going to be an arrow, catches MNT. Era will be able to TP away from inside the trees. There will be no call from Kezu. Nice use of the Arctic Burn to get up onto the high ground and escape there. Simultaneously, we did see the Phoenix getting brought down by Jesse, who is going for this BKB now. So this is going to be a way to resist the Global Silence without having to use the Yule Scepter on yourself. And Lina is honestly one of those heroes that ideally doesn't want to have to use Yules defensively, only aggressively. She's not like a Puck or whatever that has a easy natural escape after using herself into the air. Normally that can actually mean the death knell for a Lina. So in most cases, you're just trying to keep the fight going for your team. Hanskin now will smoke. Him, Jesse, Frost, as well as Era. They're going to try and find a kill here on the bottom side of the map. The Dire Scan has triggered off, but it doesn't catch anybody, unfortunately. We're going to see the axe coming forward. There's Frost is going to toss himself, going to get tossed up into the air. There's going to be a Global Silence coming through. Overpower was already used by the Ursa, trying to bring down the Supernova. Unfortunately, they're going to get called by Kezu right behind them, which will enable them to get off the Supernova pop and therefore get off the kill onto the Ursa. That one I'm kind of okay with, because sure, they did have to use a lot of ultimates to get that kill. They also managed to pick up some bounty runes on the way. So they trade 2 for 2 bounties, I think. Oh no, still 1 for 3. Hey, getting 1 when you're not getting any beforehand is a big deal. Obligatory sex joke for the cast, sorry. Frost now with this Desolator. He knows that this is an item you buy when you're trying to close out the game. The next big ticket item he's going to get after picking up the BKB is maybe the Assault Cuirass, but he's not meaning to fight with this. He wants to buy this item so he can push down buildings. Quicker way to kill Roche as well. They're not intending to be in this game for the next 10 minutes, honestly, for the side of the Final Tribe. Sunstrike into the Roshan pit by Dendi. Still a minute before the Roche will respawn. Yonosum farm with the Mjolnir. Somebody needs to buy a Lotus Orb for TFT. Or maybe even an E-Blade of their own. But I think Lotus Orb would be very, very good this game. Amazing versus what the Invoker's trying to do. Because he seems like he's turned tack. He started the lane trying to go for the Exort build. But I think somebody told him on his team, buddy, what are you doing? Just go Wex, bro. We need your teamfight control. I mean, I suppose you can go level 1 Exort for a little bit of damage, but yeah. Roche will respawn in 7 seconds. And they know that it's basically the max respawn timer, so there's no need to go anywhere. You can just sit right here on the side of the final tribe. They should also be aware that Vega Squadron might try to do something about this. And the Sunstrike will give away the vision, but man, this is going to be so fast. No way they'll be able to defend this one. And the Roche is gone. Oh, MNT. Almost was there in time to perhaps get the snatch. But also, was almost in time to just get used into the air and killed. So, maybe it's acceptable that he's out safely. And empty-handedly, but it's fine. They're going to need the Supernova for this high ground defense. Because I am absolutely convinced that the TFT want to go high ground now. You do not buy Desolator with Echo Saber on Wraith King in order to keep the game going. Nah, you buy this when you're done. You're trying to win the game now. Mirana finishes the BKB. We also saw the Morphling having his. So they're going to try and siege this tier 2 tower for Vega Squadron. Pexu finally did crack level 10, got a little bit of attack speed. I think this is the kind of game where armor might have been better. But what's it going to help? Madara is going to push on this tier 2. Hope against hope that he gets this before the tier 3 tower top goes down. They will pop the EMP onto the Wraith King, but he has the cheese. And now has reincarnation once again. And they should be able to claim this. Tier 3 tower top has fallen. The disarm will be there for the Wraith King. But again, Wraith King still has the reincarnation, so they can just turn onto these racks as soon as the creep wave arrives once more. And they have the Desolator. Look how much faster this Rax is falling. And the jump forward, they're looking for Pex to want to kill him before they can be a global silence. He will go down. No buyback available for the silencer, so they're gonna have to play this one out and defend the space for V5. Jonas and Farm making his presence known now. Phoenix might try to jump in. There will be a supernova that gets popped off, but it's gonna get eviscerated. Hanskin jumps in on the backside of the fight to prevent Kezu from being able to jump in with the blink core. Arrow now catches Dendi as well. Dendi will fall. Dragon Slave brings down the axe on the backside, and the first lane of Rax will fall. Dendi brought back, threw out a Sunstrike onto Chessie. It didn't do anything. And at bottom, Madara gets silenced up, caught by the Winter's Curse. They're going to try and get this kill. Have they already popped the shrine for this? Or they're going to go on to Madara. Madara will at least be able to get off the Rax. Wait, he didn't die? Oh, that was BKB active. Okay. Very brave play from Madara there. He forces his team to defend 3v5, but in the interim, claims them a lane of Rax as well. Not just merely the tier 2 tower. Some very brave plays from the Morphling, which stays off disaster in a sense though. They are 25k behind, however, and 20k experience is also in favor of the side of the final tribe. The only buybacks available are on the Morphling, Winter Raven, as well as the Silencer. But Frost is now has BKB. This hero is massive. BKB, Echo Saber, Armlet, as well as the Deso with the Blink Dagger. The thing is though, he's the highest net worth hero, but he doesn't have any like tier 4 items. Like he has a tier 3 item, right, in the form of the BKB, but no tier 4 items right now. This is gonna take the shrine, keep this push coming in with these creeps in the mid lane. Hanskin has drawn the short straw. He has to force everyone back down at bottom. He's gonna be the one that buys the basher. It's already available for him once he sends it out. So now it means the possibility of him by himself. So now they've got two heroes who can possibly just eviscerate both Invoker, Silencer, as well as the Phoenix. If Ursa or the Wraith King gets on top of one of these heroes before they can either Icarus dive away, Supernova, pop Global Silence, or get off the Ghost Walk for Dendi, they'll actually die like almost immediately. And Final Tribe are going in through the very lane where they have found themselves also being super creeped. Down through bottom, they get the Wraithfire Blast onto Wraith King, but Madara is the one hero who will not die. Kezu as well probably won't die. But they just want these racks. They're not very complicated right now. Get the Winter's Curse out onto Madara. Arrow will connect onto him as well. They want the kill onto the Phoenix. Phoenix gets brought down. And now they're going to be also fill the gap onto the Morphling as well with the Laguna Blade. They get the kill from Chessie. Now Kezu jumping in to try and defend his base. He's going to be surrounded by both Chessie and Hanskin. And they will be able to eviscerate him too. Silencer buys back for this one. But they've already committed the global. Rax will fall almost immediately. Frost surrounded by the Chain Lightning that was given to him by the Marana. And this is now the final hurrah for the side of Vega Squadron. Adapter Strike flying out onto the Wraith King. But he still has Reincarnation. I don't think we've actually seen that pop this game. Now we're going to see LSA Wolfland onto the Silencer with the stun from the Marana. And Marana, though, does get brought down by, or they get the kill onto the Aegis of the Immortal. Jump in from Kezu will catch out Jonas and Farm Cold Embrace, keeps him alive for the time being. BKB pop by Madara, jumping into things. But the damage from the Mortal Strike is just way too high. They're going to force him back. He will not be able to help them defend the space. Next thing they know, they will be Mega. Jump in from Fast will get the Wraithfire Blast onto Chessie, onto Kezu, sorry, and the Laguna Blade onto the Morphling will immediately destroy him. And Madara has seen enough, calls GG. LSA now onto Kezu as well. Will finish off the team wipe just in case they didn't know the game was over. And TFT will dominate Vega Squadron for game number 1. Put him in a coffin. 32 minutes, 53 seconds into this one. And we have a victor for you. Final Tribe will take game number 1 away from the side of Vega Squadron. And wow, they looked very impressive doing so. At the end of the day, I think a lot of this game, it came down to the draft firstly. Because I don't think you can pick Morphling into this kind of situation where the rest of your team doesn't actually have damage until the Morphling does. Especially considering how rough the early laning phase was for Madara. Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. 10 minutes in, he has, you know, basically nothing. It's like no net worth. Has like 1 kill to his name, level 6. Don't really do anything. 200 GPM. Compare that to Frost, who at the same time has 600 GPM. Yeah, things are different. Oh, actually, but that's overall. Wait, is that Madara's overall GPM? No, it's not. Thank God. I was going to be very confused. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, this was a complete evisceration. And the Final Tribe, on the back of their hard carry chest, who went 14-1-5 this game on this Lina. Absolutely the MVP for me on this one. Sure, Frost never died. Didn't even really have to use the reincarnation. But it was Chessie being the perpetual malevolence across the map that ended up winning out the game for the side of the Final Tribe. So, game number 2 coming up in just a moment. We'll see if Vega Squadron will be able to bring this back to a 3rd game, or if indeed we will have a situation where Final Tribe ends up taking down this matchup a straight 2-0 and go forth into the next round to play up against the side of Infamous, in the process eliminating Vega Squadron. So don't go anywhere. Game number 2 coming right up. The Final Tribe versus Vega Squadron here in the Dream League playoffs. Don't go anywhere.
dog canine sensitivity, developing this new theory of relativity, connecting the souls resting in captivity. Positive life sacrifice, what it is to me, our history. Only a quarter of a century, reality sitting on the shoulders of our chemistry. See, ain't no mystery. The colors that we mix will set the mind free. Let the blind see beyond harmony. Breathe life in the dead space below, where your clouds of doubt. New territory, we determined to be. Everything a safe haven is supposed to be. Now it might seem distant, but the time is near when the thoughts take off, split the atmosphere. Pure sound waves travel semi-infinitely. Plus I see you there utmost definitely. Cause a beat plus a melody makes me speak of melody eloquently, so evidently.
I mean that from my heart, cause you make me feel good as a person.
Cause a beat plus a melody makes me speak of melody eloquently, so evidently.
I am the best, I rip it up with finesse.
Good gracious, every process has a genesis and ends with a revelation. God bless this opportunity for me to find a voice for some words that have waited for way too long. No wages, small tips on the avenue, never wasted, all hits for a revenue. Haven't you heard the news lately? Seems we've been living for some times in a purgatory. But yo, I thought I knew what a love song sound like, but I felt a warmer tune in the sunlight. I can still hear it in my room past midnight. Gotta move, take a solo cruise in the moonlight. Sometimes I do forget, oh how much we could ease the lives we lead if we learn to let go. The reins that we hold, return our soul and the spirit that flows. So you see upon everyday face there's a million change to express definition of grace, but the method I choose my prerogative. There's so much love in me I got to give. Cause the beat plus the melody makes me speak of melody eloquently, so evidently.
I mean that from my heart, cause you make me feel good as a person.
Cause the beat plus the melody makes me speak of melody eloquently, so evidently. Oh, how I could write a book on how you make me feel, but how about the song that I wrote for you? What I feel like, I wanna put my trust in these simple words for you to feel what I'm saying, what you feel like. Reminisce about the little episodes that we shared together. Remember the time that you told me in the cold night to relax when all I knew was to hold tight. Remember the time that I spoke to a crowd in a full house, realized that you was my ace, I was the joker on the stage singing the blues. All eyes on me and had nothing to prove, but yo, thought I knew what a diamond shine like. But I felt a sharper love in the limelight from the Queen of Hearts, watching me quietly from the upper deck balcony. Sometimes I do suspect I'm an actor in a well-scripted lie, divine comedy. When I look back, that frozen slice of time and try to defrost the senses lost. Now enough with the metaphors, the motivation that I wrote this letter for you to know that the music helps carry on. Like you see, a new day will bring us tomorrow. Your beat plus my melody makes me speak of melody eloquently, so evidently. Cause my beat plus your melody makes me speak of melody eloquently, so evidently.
I mean that from my heart, cause you make me feel good as a person.
Cause your beat plus my melody makes me speak of melody eloquently, so evidently.
I mean that from my heart, cause you make me feel good as a person, you know what I mean? Make me say, well, shit wasn't that bad.
that I the captain. Cruising sapphire, sky like sapphire. Moth to a fire, but we can fly higher. To a region apex, we fit tight like a glove with the latex. Bring it down to earth for a cooling session. Lane sideways and glazed in essence. Gauged each other in the out-of-line galaxies of uncharted nebulous. Heard joy of a spilled milk on a quill or lavender. Woven in the fabric of a calendar. Dress up at the end of October. Give thanks to the famine November. A cold but cozy December. And we back to the origins. Let me begin. Snowflakes in January. Hot warm like February. I wouldn't ordinarily march to the drum, play a fool like April. Made the best dance in the June or bridal. Power of the wheel, Julius and Augustus. All you know it's just us. In a new semester, back in September. Boy, I wonder if still remember.
Love is my game.
When you took my hand, I couldn't hide it. Way too delighted. Tried to ride it cool, but obliged to ride it. Wouldn't fight it. Had my watch pause when I put my lips on your eyelids. The last second deposited in a memory bank. Every chance I pocketed, I sent a blank check with your signature. Fonts on serif, the curvature. A lone harbinger with toys play coy like fish in the pond. Fonts worse and pond like fish. Life is short like a dog on leash. Or a fuse in an open circuitry that got struck by lightning. Hang painting on the wall over the writing. Brighten up the room for a private dining. Increase the pieces, seize the anxiety. Spread love, see the whole society. You got me shooting off on a tangent, as I always do when I'm on the fringe. And the tally of the letters will reach the valley where the wings will seek. A series so classic at the top of October. Give thanks to the famine November. A cold but cozy December. And we're back to the origins. Let me begin. Snowflakes in January. Hot warm like February. I wouldn't ordinarily march to the drum, play a fool like April. Made the best dance in a June or bridal. Power of the wheel, Julius and Augustus. All you know is just us. In a new semester, back in September. Boy, I wonder if still remember. Boy, I wonder
Radiant team picked.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 here between the Final Tribe and Vega Squadron in the DreamLeague playoffs. And this is Vega Squadron with their backs against the wall. They've yet to win a single match here at the DreamLeague playoffs. They are playing with the stand-in, so it's complicated. New team with the stand-in can experience some issues, but right now things not looking so hot. And if they lose this next game, making it their 6th overall loss, it'll also be their last one because they will be dumped out of the tournament immediately at that point. So they desperately need to try and find a way to claw back into this one, gain their first win, and perhaps reverse the series and ensure that Final Tribe are the ones that instead end up taking the L instead of them. But right now, Vega Squadron versus Final Tribe, game 2 here in the DreamLeague playoffs. I'm Snare, thanks for being here. And we're going to jump into the draft right now just before the game. Winter Raven, Necrophos, Tiny, and PL picked thus far for the Final Tribe. Vega went for the Axe Pugner. And now they have the Dazzle. And they're going to follow this up with Zeus. So they have some Illusion Clear against the PL. Magic damage versus both Necrophos as well as Winter Raven. A way to disable Blink Daggers from afar to deal with the Tiny. A hero that can lane quite well in the mid lane. This is support Tiny, isn't it, for Final Tribe? I would bet all the money in the world that this is not core Tiny.
Seconds remaining.
Because if it's core Tiny, it has to be mid Tiny or offlane Tiny.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't really like either versus Zeus. Although support Tiny, I'm perfectly fine with versus Zeus. TFT, their bans were Io, Enigma, Weaver, Ancient Apparition, Undying, as well as the Anti-Mage. Vega Squadron removed Silencer, Bane Elemental, Phoenix, Earthshaker, Huskar, and now probably gonna take out, like, what hero does really well versus Zeus mid?
10 seconds remaining.
I haven't actually seen Zeus lose a matchup in a while.
5 seconds.
I guess like Huskar is a contender for that, but in general this hero does perfectly fine unless they play up against like Sniper or something, which I highly doubt Final Tribe will actually pick. Yeah, I don't think... What is Chessie gonna play? They banned Chessie's Brood. We've seen Chessie play Tiny back in the day. We've seen him play Necro. They still have his Lina that they can grab this game, which is actually still not terrible versus both Pugna, Axe. I think like Storm Spirit would actually be pretty good here, because we only have 1 stun right now on the side of Vega Squadron. So if you pick a hero like Storm, and okay, the mid lane is gonna go horrendously if you pick Storm Spirit, but you can weather that, excuse the pun, storm, and emerge as a major threat down the line, especially because that hero with the silence will make Zeus mincemeat this game. There's no global silence that Vega had to protect them from that, unless they go for a last pick silence right now, but it's already been banned out actually by them. And they still need a hero for the safe lane. They're probably going to be running this Axe in support as well. A move which honestly I don't support. I feel like there's certain teams which can get away with it more so than others. Whereas other teams, yeah, if they end up picking, okay, yeah, I see what they're doing, right, with this last pick, Terrorblade.
Now select your hero.
So PL is decent, pretty good against Terrorblade, but Terrorblade in this game, actually, I don't know why they picked the Terrorblade now that I think about it, because I'm looking at this draft, right, and Terrorblade in this game is not really going to have the best time. There is a Winter Wave, and I suppose and that Terrorblade is not too bad against, just because Cold Embrace doesn't keep people alive because of how much damage you deal out. There's a possibility of Winter's Curse falling onto the illusions rather than the real hero. Necrophos doesn't always have the easiest way to track which Terrorblade to do with the Reaper Scythe on. And we have a situation whereby TFT have Visage as their final pick, which is another hero which Terrorblade hates playing against, especially in the early game. Because of how much distance Visage keeps between you and it, you never feel comfortable, even when you have Sunder online. Because you just gets kept zoned out and spammed out with soul assumptions the whole time. Grave Chill is astronomically good versus Terrorblade, because even if you pop the reflection onto several heroes, you can't do anything about it because you immediately get Grave Chilled. You just have to stay there. And this hero in the Visage, I was wondering what heroes can do really well against the Zeus in the mid lane. Visage has naturally one of the highest magic resists in the game. So yeah, this is actually a pretty decent answer from Final Tribe. Also a hero that is incredible versus Axe. Yeah, I'm really liking this. Really liking this last pick Visage from Final Tribe. Also, generally, Visage tends to build all the defensive items for the team. You build a Solar Crest, you build a Pipe of Insight, and very often you build a Crimson Guard. Solar Crest is firstly really good this game versus helping heroes deal with the weave. If somebody gets gone on, they get Solar Crested, a lot of the weaves, like plus side, gets taken down. And then as time goes on, what ends up happening is, because you're buying this Pipe of Insight, the Pipe is going to be great versus the Zeus. And eventually when you get the Crimson Guard, that's going to be good against the Terrorblade. You start out with some of the lowest, I think he has the second lowest, or is it the absolute lowest, base magic resist in the game on Visage. But got the cloak, so you're fine. Perfectly fine. Yo, and the Gravekeeper's cloak is going to be amazing versus the kind of damage that Zeus tends to spam out in the mid lane. So the first 3 levels are going to be very crucial for Vega Squadron to ensure that the Zeus can get as far ahead as possible, taking advantage of the lowered base stats from Chessie, preventing him from getting the levels, which allows him through the cloak aura to bring that back to parity. So we're going to see, ladies and gentlemen, what's going to end up happening here and how this game is going to shape out. TFT, 1 game up and 1 game away from knocking out Vega Squadron entirely from the tournament. Will they be able to do it? They're off to not the best start. They've already found themselves being dewarded. Hanskin will not be happy about that, but he already has a tree in his hand, so probably not going to be too bothered by how everything pans out. Hanskin on the Tiny, picking up a bounty rune on the top side of the map. Behind him is Jonas Farm on the Necrophos in the off lane for his team. Frost might actually be making the rotation towards top with this Phantom Lancer. The Chessie Visage is going to be the X-Factor hero for the lineup. They're not sure how they want to lane right now. I think they want to see who's going to show up where. They ideally don't want to actually put the... they don't want Terrorblade to be playing against the PL early. They'd rather have PL... They thought they were going to try and dodge this matchup, but it's not going to be the case. Era at bottom as the Winter Wave, and he showed up first to make sure that he gets all the CSN experience for his team and can be led off to as good a start as humanly possible for the side of the Final Tribe. Vega Squadron erstwhile, they have maybe next time playing the support Pugna. Okay. I really don't like this, by the way. I kind of feel like this hero needs levels way too badly. Like, what do you gain from support Pugna that you lose, that you don't get from having this hero in the core position? Like, it doesn't lane well enough to be like, oh wait, we absolutely need this hero to be contesting in the lane. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Madara ends up drawing the first blood at top. He's playing the Terrorblade. Him and Peksu, they use the Metamorphosis as well as the level 1 Poison Touch. So Peksu, Dazzle already being active on this map with his Terrorblade compatriot. Now he got level 2 Reflection thrown out. They're going to try and put more damage onto Jonas Farm, chasing him beyond the scope of these trees right next to the tier 1 tower. Hanskin is falling quite low, but they know Jonas Farm does have Death Pulse, so it's going to be quite difficult to kill Hanskin, especially because he also has some 1 charges. And in the mid lane, the final contest, Dendi playing on the Zeus, the God of Thunder. Dendi, once known as the God of the mid lane. So they're going to be contesting up against one another. We see Chessie already has 2 points into the Gravekeeper's Cloak. And yeah, each layer of this cloak is going to complicate some aspect of Dendi's life. Should still be able to farm happily though. It's not going to be like in the previous game where he's going to get completely dumpstered by Lina. Chessie is going to be drawing more even at Dendi. So Dendi's going to have more of an opportunity this game to actually showcase what he's made of, rather than merely, oh my god, this hero's OP, I can't do anything about this. And he's winning the mid lane thus far, quite handedly in fact, by half a level. So Dendi has an additional deny onto Chessie's Visage, as well as several CS. Very happy with the way that this has planned out for him. I do suppose the one thing that he has to try and do as well is put as much pressure onto Chessie so Chessie leaves this mid lane as often as possible to try and get damage onto the tier 1 tower. Because eventually, once Chessie is able to actually finish off the full Hood of Defiance, then taking the tier 1 becomes next to impossible as a Zeus. Other heroes could perhaps do something, but not Zeus. Bottom, we see Kezu is creep skipping a little bit. Once again, forcing Frost to farm underneath his tier 1 tower. Doesn't seem like Frost minds all that much though. Frost seems to be really chilled with this. On his PL, he's like, whatever. Also, a little bit harder to take advantage of Phantom Lancer by creep skipping his wave because he has access to the doppelganger. They're going to try and get this kill onto Ero now though. He had the decrep on him as well as the battle hunger, but they just don't have stuns. They, again, when they ended this draft to the side of the final tribe or for Vega Squadron, they didn't end off with a hero that can still get a stun onto somebody. They ended off merely by getting some more damage in the form of the Terror Blade. Speaking of damage, at top, Hanskin does get the kill onto Dazzle. Peksu not going to be happy about that, but did create some space for Madara to farm as well with this Metamorphosis underneath the tier 1 tower. So, there are worse things in heaven and earth. For all that this is not the best game for Terrorblade, it's going to be a while before Terrorblade feels any kind of pressure. Just because the way that this game has gone down has been a lot more even for Vega Squadron. They need to keep this going, especially making sure that Madara is, by the time the fates break out, this Terrorblade needs to be as involved as humanly possible. Also, I do like the fact that they put Axe. Remember I was saying that I don't necessarily think every team can function with this aggressive melee 4 position hero as they in their draft, you know. It requires a specific style of play in order to be able to take advantage of it properly. I do suppose this is the middle ground, right? Kezu will play the high impact hero, MNT will play the useful hero. But this is very concerning. He's level 2 right now on the Pugna. This Pugna is going to feel kind of useless. By the time the fights break out, he's not going to be level 6 yet. So won't be able to actually use the allied life drain nor the aggressive one. Kezu ran directly underneath the tier 1 tower, looking perhaps for a call. But not going to find it versus the Phantom Lancer. Top lane, Jonas and Farm might be in some trouble. The reflection is out onto him. He goes shards up, turns in the opposite direction. Does still have some stick charges if he wants to use them. They're still chasing him, however. They have the shield bomb coming through. And the death pulse keeps Jonas and Farm alive. Actually ends up dying thanks to the poison touch. Peksu makes it happen. Dazzle, dazzle, dazzle. Dazzle, dazzle, dazzle. Pretty deep kill for them to pick that up. More progress for Madara, who is now level 5. And Jonas and Farm is not at all having the same game that he had in game number 1. Now only has 17 CS compared to the 29 of Madara. And they're going to try and get a kill again here at top. Metamorphosis has been popped. Hanskin is in trouble. One more right click from Madara will almost do the trick. No, the poison touch will kill him. Peksu once again. 2 points into the poison touch. The duration is so long. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. Each time you get attacked, it gets refreshed. And because you're playing with a Terror Blade with Metamorph, you always have the space to get the refresh off because you have the longest attack range on Earth. So Madara now has himself 29 CS, level 5. Gonna have very early power treads. Inversely though, right now we do see that there is level 6 available for the Visage as well as for the Zeus. So the question is, which one of them is going to get involved first? At bottom, lol, an illusion found himself getting cutting bladed. Frost is like, what are you guys doing? He's going to actually cancel the clarity from MNT. This is a big issue actually. If he wants to have any mana for the next spells, he's going to have to pop this mango. And look how low MNT is actually falling right now. The one item I wanted to see is this Hood of Defiance, which is not that far away for Chessie. Just needs to finish the Gloves of Haste, and you should have this item. Dandy erstwhile still wants to build some Arcane Boots and then turn those into an Aether Lens down the line. Top lane, the Avalanche did come out. They're trying to bring down Hanski, and Madara is chasing him. He's being body blocked by Yonasum Fan though. Yonasum, nicely done, my friend. Very quiet game here compared to game number 1. Very, very quiet early game happening. Only 4 kills that have happened in the first 8 minutes. It just seems like Vega Squadron has a better read of how to play this game versus the side of the TFT. In the previous game, they weren't really being able to stop their pulls. They weren't really in a position to like match their rotations. They weren't smoking around the map. This game, the only drawback is that there's basically no experience on the Pugna. And that's only because it's not even inherently a bad thing. I just think that Pugna happens to flourish when he has a lot of experience. But beyond that, he is still about to crack level 4, so not the worst thing in the world. It's not like the TFT supports are that much higher. Still have level 4 on Era. And Hanskin running around with level 4 too. He's going to hit 5 very soon though. Which means the second point into the Avalanche. Is the second point Avalanche or second point tree throw? I know if he was playing offlane, he'd go for the max trees. But as support, I do think that the throw is probably a little bit better, the Avalanche. He's already committed it somewhere. And he found himself being reflected. Poison Touch is on him and he keeps getting refreshed, but he's going to be okay. Frost heading towards the top side of the map because Dendi TP to bottom. Thunder God's Wrath used by the Zeus will enable him to find a kill there. And top lane, they maybe want to try go on to Uchiha Madara. I'm kidding, he's not a Uchiha. They're going to turn onto him. The Ghost Shroud will be there. He was slowed for a little bit. Frost though can't really turn the tide on this because he already used a Doppelganger. So no room for him to just rush directly onto the Terrorblade. An inversion of game number 1. Vega Squadron are now 3k gold ahead. Kezu chasing down Hanskin. The toss will be there just to make sure that he can't keep the chase going onto the high ground.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Kezu has an early Vanguard here, which is going to be fantastic versus the Visage. That's the one thing about Axe as well, is that the Visage Call or the Call can actually catch out the Visage Familiars. So as long as you catch the Familiars, you're always very happy. If you don't, it's kind of sad, because you just immediately get stun locked, and you can't like finish the fight off with the Cutting Blade. But if that doesn't happen, can be pretty decent versus the Visage. And again, versus PL, we've seen many a PL
Tower is under attack.
trying to enjoy life when they're playing against Axe, and it's very difficult to do so. The tier 1 tower should be defended. Well, I say defended, it's not like they were really attacking it, they were just posturing a little bit. Necro, is he also like normally in? Oh wait, whoa! Did you guys see that? Hanskin was getting gone on, and he just tossed MNT back towards Dendi to ensure that he wouldn't get like slowed up and could back away and pop the shrine. He's gonna immediately TP to the other side of the map. They should have a shrine. And they're not gonna use the shrine. They're gonna make a rotation towards top. And once again, look at Vega Squadron. This time ready. Previous game, they definitely get caught out by this rotation. This go around, they already have an Observer Ward prepared to ensure that they can escape this.
Top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower
And the top
has fallen.
tier 1 tower shall fall. The Hood of Defiance, or the Helm of the Dom, sorry, available for Chessie. Is he not going to buy a Hood first? Oh no, it is Visage, sorry. You always buy a Helm first on Visage.
Radiant's bottom tower
Mid lane, Era, getting gone on. They're going to kill him before there can even be a possibility of a Winter's Curse. He could... Okay, he can't buy back. If he had buyback, I would say he needs to buy back and come back for his team. Top lane, they might want to look to be trading the tier 1 for tier 2. But they need to do a lot of damage if they want to kill Kezu fast enough to win this fight. Oh no, they found Dendi. Grave Chill gonna go out onto him as well as the Dark Troll Summoner Trap. They get off the shallow grave, but will there be Visage drops? Yes, they will be. They'll keep him in position. They should be able to find the kill onto Dendi. Meantime, Frost also finds the kill onto MNT. And they're gonna keep going forward for Kezu. Yonasan Farm finds the Reaper side, and they're gonna put him in the grave. That's 3 heroes 2 of whom are cores dead across the map, 1 of whom is a support that needs core levels of experience. And Frost, the fact that he finds a solo kid at bottom accelerates his timing towards having the diffusal blade. Now does pick up the Blade of Alacrity. His team will be pushing onto this tier 2 tower in the top lane. Very quickly secure that for them. Look at the final tribe, guys. These guys aren't screwing around right now. They want to make quick work. Game 1, we saw, based on their item build, how they intend to dispatch Vega Squadron. This game, we see from their playstyle. And we have catching up in terms of the net worth. The gold graph no longer in freefall. In fact, the momentum has been arrested and reversed in favor of the final tribe. Kezu is still gonna be, he's still gonna be the thingamabob, the focal point of this game for Vega Squadron for quite some time. At some point they're gonna need to pop a smoke here. Are they gonna do it now? Yeah, Peksu activates it, puts it in his inventory from his backpack, he makes use of it. They need to try and find an engagement here. Hanskin pops it from the high ground. What a player. And they're gonna find him and kill him. But Hanskin's like, I mean, okay. Are you guys satisfied with this state of affairs? Okay, sure, I'm fine with this. You guys had all smoked to either try and kill Jonas and farm, or to try and bring down Frost. But you find nothing. And Jonas is building a Yule Scepter. I've been seeing this build become a little bit more prominent on this hero. I mean, I kind of like it, right? I mean, it's cool. It's cool-ish. In this kind of game, though, I understand why you want to pick it. Firstly, the additional movement speed is extremely useful for getting out of scenarios where there's heroes like Axe. Especially because, once again, and I don't think I can repeat this point often enough, they only have 1 stun. The only other sort of lockdown they have is level 4 Poison Touch. But seriously, no, it's not. They changed it. It's not the same anymore where it stuns at the end. So the only stun they have is maybe Lightning Bolt mini stun, as well as the core from Axe. But that's literally it. So having mobility items as well as items where if somebody on your team gets called, you immediately use up the Axe and they suddenly take no damage. Pretty great. Kezu is going to be building the Crimson Guard for his team. What is Chessie building here? Chessie is now going to start building into the Hood of Defiance and then Pipe. He just needed to stop over for his medallion. Level 12 Visage. Picked up the level 2 Summon Familiars. So now at level 13, they're going to be able to take down this tower without too much fret at all. I haven't spoken about Frost in a while. He's actually just been off map, farming the jungle. Frost now will finally have the Diffusal Blade. Top lane, we are going to lose Hanskin though. They lost the tier 1 tower and Hanskin is going to get bursted down by Peksu, who's on a killing spree with the Shadow Bomb. But they don't seem to care. Final Tribe's like, well, okay, you guys do know we have Visage, right? And we have buffed Visage, not old shitty Visage. Sweet. Get the tower. And Vega Squadron aren't going to be happy with this at all. I mean, sure, they get a kill at top and they manage to get this tower. And they've also managed to more or less win the laning phase. But then immediately afterwards, they end up... I mean, honestly, they won the lanes, right? And they're going to at least get some Visage Familiars out of this, perhaps. Oh no, Visage! So there's a little known trick that you can do. If Visage Familiars get caught with the calling, with the call from the Axe, they can't use their own Stone Form. However, if you're playing with the Visage hero, you can click the Stone Form for your various familiars and it'll activate for you. So these can still make them invulnerable, as we just saw over there. So these are the things you can do. Now they're going to take Roche. I thought they were going to take Roche for the side of Vega Squadron with this Martyr or Terrorblade, because they activated the Metamorph and they still had it for another like 20 seconds just after they took the tier 1. But they're going to back away. Instead, go for the Roshan. Or go farm their own jungle. And the Rosh will instead be taken by the side of TFT. Inside the pit. Surrounded by units. Rosh can do nothing. And Rosh will fall. Frost will pick up this Aegis. Now with Diffusal Blade, the Aegis. And very fast building into a Vanguard, it seems, for the Phantom Lancer. They're going to try and limit the potential for the Terrorblade to be as effective as possible, by ensuring that the one hero who is going to be contracted to try and bring down the PL, just not going to be able to. Now Pipe also finished by Chessie, so Zeus going to have far less of an impact. In fact, Dendi is now the lowest net worth core in this game after winning this lane. He won the lane, guys. He won his lane. Like, unambivalently, he won his lane. And now this is the situation. This is what's happening. And he still has yet to finish off the Aether Lens either. Went for the first item, Yule Scepter, for himself. And next is going to go for this Glimmer Cape. Glimmer Cape Zeus. I can't remember the last time I've seen this, if I'm honest.
Dire are scanning.
Kezu at bottom. Crimson Guard available for the axe. So a lot less damage that Phantom Lancer is dealing in these fights, as well as the Visage Army. Speaking of the Visage Army, Arrow's going to Cold Snap onto Peksu. Give time for the Centaur to catch up. They're going to keep hitting him with the Arctic Burn, but they're going to be a Hoof Stomp, and the Stoneform drops. The Splinter Blast ensures that there's no possibility of a shallow grave. And Era ending the killing spree of the Dazzle. And also signaling that for the first time in this game, Gold Lead is now in favor of TFT. Experience has been coming in this direction for quite some time. Still solidly this way. Oh man, I love this talent. Getting the Solar Assumption hits 2 targets. I mean, you could have gone the plus 40% XP gain, but I think recognizing just how much damage you can output in the fights with constant spams of Solar Assumption, especially if they manage to eliminate Terrorblade from the engagement, if they're fighting the rest of the team and there's no illusions, then he's just like, oh, there's Solar Assumptions everywhere, man.
Radiant's top tower is under
They're now gonna put some pressure onto this tier 2. And TFT, the 20-minute mark, have managed to erase every single tier 2 tower off the map. I'm sure they're right now hoping that, man, if only it was like the old days where tier 2s gave you access to shrines. And then it's going straight onto the high ground. The weave will come out from Peksu, huge call from Kezu, but it's only onto illusion. So the rest of TFT are going to be like, well, okay, we're just going to come and try and take this right now. Top lane, there is a push happening from the side of Vega Squadron, and they're going to lose their tier 3 tower. Now Terrorblade needs to leave. Madara, will he be able to get out in time? There is going to be a Glimmer Cape from MNT. Oh, Hanskin will only cancel the 1 TP out, so MNT will pay for this with his life. They did manage to put some pretty good damage on the tier 3, bringing it down to about half HP, but they're not done just yet. There's still a fight, perhaps breaking out other side. They just want the shrines, actually. This is such objective-based Dota from the final tribe.
Are you ready to rumble?
Pure objectives here. They take the tier 3, now they take the shrine.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
They still lay claim to the Aegis for yet another minute and 20 seconds. And after this, I imagine they'll go right back into the Roshan pit as soon as possible and continue this adventure through the mid lane to secure the racks in their entirety. They are making a movement towards bottom now. Oh no, Madara! I think Madara showed himself. Oh, they're gonna see the extra illusions. They know something's up. Ah, they don't see him in the trees though. If Hanskin had waited like a little bit longer, perhaps Madara reveals himself. But it's not gonna be the case.
Dire's bottom
Madara has the full Manta style, and he's still pretty farmed, but he's no longer the most farmed. That honor now goes the way of the Visage. And they're just gonna come through the mid while they still have the Aegis. They're like, well, still got 25 seconds with this. Jump forward by Hanskin. They're looking for the stun onto the Dazzle. Peksu does get stunned, but the Glimmer Cape was there first. Kezu does get the call onto some of these units from the Centaur. Frost looking towards getting it on the backline of this fight. Dendi doesn't have any positive skills with the Nimbus Cloud or anything. Still have the Thunder God's Wrath though. They're burning through a lot of these illusions, but look how little damage these familiars are taking. Kezu, huge call, catches everyone, but the Yule Scepter out into the air, making sure he can't do anything after this. They do get the kill onto the Aegis of the Immortal first and foremost though. They bring down the Centaur thereafter. And look at bottom, Madara once again putting the same move as you saw in game 1. Manages to take a tier 3 as well as getting a kill on the way out. He's going to be able to also leave without too much difficulty, and Hanskin gets caught with the call at top, ends up losing his life. They almost had it, the Rex. But once again, Vega Squadron able to resist their efforts. And this time though, unlike in game number 1, not only do they resist, but they also stop them from taking the lane of Rax itself. Well, it's actually very similar to game 1, because in game 1, they got traded out Rax for Rax. This time they trade tier 3 for tier 3. They won't be able to readily just walk and take a shrine. But unlike game 1, they're not like massively behind. So this still opens up the chance for them to succeed at winning this game. Kezu also buying 4-star, a move I can wholeheartedly get behind. Will they be able to find this call onto Era? No, I don't think so. Era should be fine. He's trying to build himself into an Aether Lens. And he's maybe going to look for the Winter's Curse. Is he going to find it onto Dendi? Get some vision out on the other side of the map. Do they know where he's at? Or he's going to TP out? He's okay. No, he's going to cancel his TP because his team is coming. If he saw Madara, he would have definitely gone for this fight. MNT is going to be scouted out. He's going to be the only one here though. So he's going to die. Man, if Era had maybe planted on an Observer Ward here and saw Madara and managed to cancel out his TP with the Winter's Curse, they probably would have forced out a buyback from Madara. But still, with MNT dead, they're going to try and make something happen. They're going to take down the shrine first and foremost. With the shrine in the grave, TFT have once again expended their fear of overall map control. Very few places on the map that Vega Squadron could reasonably say, alright guys, if we're here we can fight safely, unless it's inside their own base. TFT don't leave any wards behind in their wake. Instead they merely secure positioning so they can get some bounties. Dendi did get some for his team at top. Still making progress towards getting this Nimbus Cloud going for himself. Dondo at level 15. Okay, he needs level 20 soon, but more than anything, Vega Squadron needs to get vision around Roshan, because it's very obvious that TFT are going to try to pull the same move they did last time. And the only ward they have here is a sentry ward on their own high ground for the side of Vega Squadron. They have smoked right now. Oh no. Yeah, we saw that, bro. Yeah, we all saw that. Madara popped his BKB. This actually means they can't use the smoke to take a fight. And now they see him underneath this observer ward, so they know that he's farming their side of the map. They can try and counter smoke this, or just try head directly into the Roshan pit. But Rosh still not available for another 28 seconds. Kezu is still smoked, so is Dendi. Kezu's smoke will pop though, and now they see him underneath their observer ward on the high ground. They know what's happening here on the side of TFT. There's actually some very fortuitous wards. That one just expired as well. That ward as well as this one ensured that they actually got the read on what Vega Squadron was trying to do with that smoke. And Dendi, Dondo.
Radiant's bottom shrine is
They're gonna smoke right now. Moving. as a large-scale unit. We're going to try and penetrate through into the mid lane. Similar move as they pulled prior. They're going to look for Jonas and Farm. While they get him, they get the Berserker's Call with the Poison Touch on him. And they should be able to bring him down quite quickly. Nether Ward was dropped down, and the life drain from MNT secures that kill in an instant. And I like that they've been giving MNT a lot of experience potential. He's level 14 right now. Considering where he started in this game, this is pretty good stuff. He's about to crack 15, in fact. This is the kind of game I do think you get the Nether Blast cooldown. They still need that as a tool to push down towers in tandem with Madara's Terrorblade. And they pop the weave now aggressively. Perhaps a bit too soon because the Roche isn't up yet. So the weave is going to be down by the time the Roche fight actually starts. Oh, Hanskin was looking for MNT. They do catch him with the dust of appearance, but he managed to get away with this Glimmer Cape, snaking his way behind the Ancients. And also Dendi manages to de-ward. So God of Thunder is clearing out this map. MNT does get the Nether Ward additional hits. I suppose in a game like this, when you're playing up against Visage and all the summons, it probably is better to get more health for the Nether Ward because of how much value that Nether Ward provides you. They're going to smoke again. That's going to be their last smoke for quite some time. So they absolutely need to win this fight. And now this Roche is very low. Will they get there in time? Where is the axe? Where is the jump in? And there's going to be another one outside. Kezu's going to be able to jump, get the Berserker's Call onto Chessie. Chessie falling very low right now. They're going to be able to lose the life of the Visage. He's dead off the back of this. Winter's Curse though attracts onto the Dazzle. Dazzle is going to get brought down by his team. This Ice Blast will be there as well. And now Frost turning the attention to try to go onto Madara. Madara surrounded by illusion. Kezu, huge call, will be able to bring back the PL. Cold Embrace keeps PL alive. And the Reaper side after the ally drain will not going to be enough to keep him alive. Frost ends up losing his life, but that's only going to be the Aegis that triggers. MNT was able to get off the Nether Blast, bringing Hanskin very low, as well as the Lightning Bolt with static field from Dendi. Dendi will find himself in trouble. He's in the trees right now, but the dust of appearance from Hanskin, Glimmer Cape or no, will still doom him to death. Avalanche will catch him, and they're not done just yet. They really want to find MNT. Jonas and Farm will not see him, and they don't have an Observer Ward on this side of the map anymore. It was de-warded by Dendi earlier. So they get the Aegis.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Unfortunately, they have to give it up very soon thereafter in order to try and take that fight. And they do get the fight, but I would kind of say that Vega Squadron are very happy with this set of results. They're actually going to try and get this kill onto Era. He's getting life drained right now, so Cold Embrace will not protect him. And Madara is here. Doesn't have access to the Metamorph, but they do know that this is going to force these heroes back. It is Pugna. It is Terrorblade. Absolutely no chance that you would just readily allow them to remain on this high ground without challenging them in some way. Chessie feels bad, man. Chessie was in that fight with his Aghanim Scepter. Unfortunately, if you get called as well as all your Visage familiars, can't be saved, my friend. And Jonas and Farm also got caught with the initial call, so he couldn't use up the axe to prevent him from just spinning all willy-nilly onto Chessie. Now Madara has reasserted himself as overall net worth leader. Can almost finish off the Eye of Skadi. Actually just buying tomes. They want to get him to that minus 10-second reflection cooldown ASAP. So two very interesting items have just popped up, right? So we do see that Pugna has just completed the Aether Lens, which is absolutely great on this hero. Allows you to be able to always get off the life drain. But more interesting than that is Frost deciding to go for this Abyssal Blade. So that Vanguard that he bought earlier on was not just a decorative one to try and deal with some of the damage coming out from the TB. No, this was a very purposeful decision. So now they have additional lockdown. No, this item is crazy. If you get the Phantom Rush onto someone, you just show up and they die. Core, mid lane though. Oh, only onto the illusions. Onto the familiars as well as some of the creeps. Kezu in trouble. Hanskin jumps in. Avalanche with the toss directly onto him. Glimmer Cape will keep him alive for the time being. BKB, Pop by Madara wants to go forward for this fight. Backside, Frost was looking towards the Pugna. At this timing on BKB on Madara will not last forever. It's down now. That was the 8-second BKB popped and they don't really get anything out of this. In the meantime, do see Era picks up a Blink Dagger as well. So now we have long range Winter's Curse. That can be thrown out by the Winter Waven. That was also the Eye of Skadi that Madara was trying to reveal in that fight. Unfortunately, did not exactly go that way. +3 mana regen. That's interesting that Kezu gets that. I thought he would have gotten the movement speed in this kind of game. I don't think the mana regen is going to help that much versus a hero like the Phantom Lancer. But I suppose if he gets the call off and is able to retreat from the fight for just a little bit, he has some time to regen back up and come into the fray with the call once more. Especially given the importance of the Berserker's call in a game like this. "33 minutes in, and TFT, are they gonna just try and raw take a range Rex? But they probably recognize that Madara is considering a similar proposition down towards bottom.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
Iro was waiting. They were trying to spring a trap here. But they're gonna see Madara and they'd say, nah, he's not here. Dendi now finally has the Aghanim Scepter. So he can call forth lightning from the skies.
Radiant are scanning.
And this is also a little bit more chain disable. In one more level, they actually have level 20 on Dendi. So then he'll be able to get the Bolt mini stun. They're gonna smoke now. They want to reveal this Nimbus Cloud. They want to use this Eye of Skadi. They want MNT to get level 18 for the next point in the life drain.
Are scanning.
There's gonna be a dire scan. Are they gonna catch Chessie? Yeah, he's dead. The call onto Chessie with the Nimbus Cloud on top of him. There's no way he should be able to survive this. They're gonna turn around onto him. They should be able to take away his life. Cold Embrace was there. Winter's Curse laid out onto Madara, but nobody else actually has damage physically besides Madara. There was a buyback coming in from the Visage. Madara's BKB is down. He's trying to run himself away right now. The Visage Familiar Stun, the Stone Form, won't catch anybody. So the Visage not really going to be able to be effective in this fight. And Chessie right now
Radiant's top
trying to get closer and closer towards Shiva's God. But I think they're very happy with this on the side of Vega Squadron. To force the buyback on the Visage. Madara in particular is very happy. Because he got Winter's Curse, but I think he showed why he should never be the target of the Winter's Curse. Because everyone was hitting him and it's just like, what do you guys do actually?
Radiant's top
And now they'll be using MNT's Nether Blast to eat through the shrine in the top side. And a war for Vega Squadron.
shrine has fallen.
The gold lead is still in favor of the final tribe, but they're making this interesting at the very least. All on the back of an overfarm Madara Terrorblade and a hella swaggerlicious initiating axe. And Frost next absolutely wants to get that Heart of Tarask after the Manta. He's just behind the Terrorblade in terms of overall farm. I do think with Heart, once you get to the Heart stage, right? Because right now, TB is still able to deal somewhat with the Phantom Lancer. But once it gets to Hearts and the like, that's when it starts becoming really problematic to function against that hero. And he did get the cooldown of the Reflection. Dendi got the Lightning Bolt mini stun. Kizu's not level 20 yet. Peksu, level 15, got the cost range. And who's left? MNT's not 20 yet either. Does have level 3 ultimate though, which is going to be very useful for them. Very, very useful for his team. Just the ally drain, not even the aggressive one. Keeping somebody alive long enough for them to be able to get off, say, a BKB or a Yule Scepter or something can be very instrumental. And Madara now buys the full butterfly for himself. This does mean he doesn't have buyback though. They've got a substantial amount of time to try and punish this maneuver. He's a very long way away from having buyback on the Terrorblade. Whether or not the final tribe will be cognizant of that and therefore try to deal with it is another story entirely. Hanskin also trying to build a Yule Scepter for himself on the Tiny. At level 15 he got himself the health instead of the avalanche damage. You know, so far I actually went for the attacks. Didn't go for the attacks, but we got the magic resist this game. I mean, it makes sense versus Zeus, right? How much overall magic resist does he have now? 58%. Jeez. Okay. And that's before anyone even pops a pipe. Kezu almost went for the Berserker's Call, but ends up not doing so. Madara just gonna get peppered a little bit by these illusions. But yo, this butterfly is gonna prove wonderful for Madara's Terrorblade. I'm glad that Visage went for this particular talent. The 80%, the plus 80 move speed. Just so you can use a familiar to be able to, you know, stun people instead of just using them as damage tools. Right now we have a little bit of a stalemate around the Roshan pit. The Phantom Lancer does have a TP back towards the other side of the map. Okay, Centaur Conqueror. Oh, Kezu got forced off forward, jumps directly onto Chessie's Visage, but they're not going to be able to get the kill. Stoneform on the backlines of this, and now they caught Zeus with the Winter's Curse. That's the perfect target. There's going to be a kill onto anybody. Chessie's going to lose his life. Yes, he will, thanks to Madara. There's going to be a buyback from the Zeus with the ultimate coming through as well. Frost getting the Abyssal Blade stun out onto the Terror Blade. Kezu going to be kept alive for the time being by the Shallow Grave. They're going to turn onto Jonas Farm, but he's inside the Cold Embrace. He's still alive for now. Frost on the backside of the fight has managed to also eliminate the Zeus. The Terror Blade will bring down Hanskin. Hanskin is dead. Jonas Farm forced to TP away from this engagement. Madara is just too damn strong. They just had to ignore him. They couldn't really try and go onto the TB. Although they do grab 3 kills for TFT. Hanskin going directly onto MNT, but they're going to catch him inside the Decrep as well as the Nimbus Cloud. He is definitely a dead man, drained to death. And they give the kill towards the Terror Blade. Kezu already inside the Roshan pit. Vega Squadron take a big fight, draw more or less even in the engagement, but are able to therefore afterwards take down the Roche. And they're very smart. Every time they start a fight, they start off on Chessie. Kesu knows if you call and catch Chessie, this is a lot of their defensive abilities gone. They no longer have access to the Pipe of Insight. They no longer have the twin soul assumptions. You no longer have Solar Crest. It makes a huge difference. And they get the Aegis and the cheese now. Dandy. Whether or not the God of Thunder is lactose intolerant, he also has a refresher shot. So double Nimbus Cloud. Oh, bottom. MNT gets caught and killed by Frost with the Abyssal Blade. That's unfortunate.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Wait, Jonas Farm just bought Shiva's God and is going to build Heart. I'm not so sure if Visage should build Shiva's as well. Maybe they get an AC for the Visage. But I suppose I can understand why you want the Shivas, right? Firstly, the double Arctic Blast in the middle of the fight could be very chaotic. But more than that, the reduction in overall attack speed from the enemy means that Chessie has less of a chance of being completely ripped apart by this Terror Blade. And being ripped apart, so what Terror Blade is specializing in doing. Level 24 for Madara. Looking for a Lincoln Sphere? Is he actually going to buy it? Yes, he will. Full links for Madara. So no win. I'm kind of confused about this Lincoln Sphere. I suppose it means that he can't get Reaper Scythed. But Jonas Farm has Yule Scepter, so they can pop it without too much difficulty. I guess it's only the Yule's Reaper Scythe. Wait, no, but Soul Assumption can crack it as well, and Grave Chill, so we'll see how well this actually pans out. MNT now also buy a Blink Dagger. It's kind of insane to me how we've been seeing that all of these fights are actually going the way of Vega Squadron more often than not. However, TFT still maintain the gold lead. I think it has a lot to do with Madara being the only one that's like soaking up the large bulk of the farm from Vega Squadron. Dendi's taken his share somewhat, but he's just been playing a more of a utility supporting role in the backlines. .42 minutes in, Vega Squadron and TFT. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, to remind you of the stakes, if Vega Squadron loses this game, they will be completely knocked out. Completely. Like, completely. They're done. Donezo. DreamLeague is over for them. The first minor of the year will go completely south. However, if they win, they get to go to game 3. Kezu looking for the jump onto Chessie. They get the call onto Jonas and Farm. Jonas and Farm gets called embraced right now. He's still alive for the time being. Chessie getting turned upon by Madra. Forced off through. Will make sure that there's not going to be a Nimbus Cloud that stuns up the Visage. And they've gotten all of them out of trouble. Frost also doppelgangers from the low ground. We'll see Madra getting caught right now with an avalanche from Hanskin. They really want to try and take this fight around them. The stone form from the Visage Familiars will lay out. There's going to be a toss into the air. Hanskin going to get sundered by Madra. And then the reflection will be out onto him. Frost is constantly just throwing out these illusions outside of the pit. Outside of his own base. He's doppelganging in and out of these fights. They're turning onto Dendi. Dendi might find himself getting abyssal bladed. Kezu jumps in looking for the call, but there was an avalanche immediately afterwards. Now we do see the Reaper Scythe flying out onto the axe. Not enough damage yet to get the kill. They do pop the life of Madara, however. And Soul Assumption does kill Kezu, coming in from Chessie. Now Madara back online. His second life. No Metamorphosis. And no Sunder. Back up in 8 seconds, however. But the big deal is that they will not be able to claim the lane of racks at bottom. They do get the range racks though. And Dendi actually used the refresher orb to make that happen. This was the second Nimbus Cloud. So they lose the axe. Nobody dies from the side of the final tribe. That was actually an amazing defense that no one died at the end of the day. Against their over-farmed Terrorblade. Jonas has heart as well now. So he is very hard to kill. They're going to try and take advantage of the 50 seconds in the game without the axe being online. Hanskin leading the charge with just one solitary range creep right behind him. They know there's no buyback on axe. Oh my god. If they were timing the buybacks from the previous engagement where axe bought back, they'll know for a fact that he bought back to secure Roche basically for his team earlier. So now suddenly they're going to be able to get the range racks, or the melee racks even. They're going straight for it. They pop the weave from Peksu onto these TFT heroes, turning their attention back towards the racks. And the melee rack shall fall. TFT! What the hell just happened? Just got a full in the racks. Madara, be careful about chasing outside the base, my friend. Frost will be able to use Doppelganger to escape the Nimbus Cloud. Madara gets the reflection out onto the Phantom Lancer, who Doppelganger through it. And Madara still chasing. But Chessie also uses Grave Chill onto Peksu to ensure that he has enough movement speed to try and escape. Decrep will be there as well as the Life Drain. The Stormform will drop. Terrorblade being prevented from getting the chase going forward. And Yules now, they toss the Visage up into the air. Kezu jumps forward for Chessie. And they get the kill. Visage is down. Doesn't have buyback for another 18 gold though. But they probably figure, okay, there's probably buyback available. And Jonas and Farm has been dutifully pushing out this bottom wave. He's going to go for this late game Radiance. Some additional mischance versus the Terrorblade, knowing that the Terrorblade has committed his items and is unlikely to turn around and decide he wants an MKB now. They get the bottom racks though for the Vega Squadron lineup. So once again, they end up trading important objectives. Call from Kezu doesn't catch onto the important hero Shiva's Guard used by Jonas and Farm. Buyback used by Chessie. But they don't get any, like, they don't get the real stuns necessary to win the following engagement. And this buyback just forces them back. I guess they didn't want to throw away and sacrifice the tier 3 tower, because they know that anything can happen if you sacrifice buildings playing against Pugna and Terrorblade. So rather, you know, don't fret yourself. Rather not fret yourself. Hanskin now. Almost level 20, so then I imagine the toss needs no direct target. It's going to be the first skill he wants to go for. Look at this. Terrorblade buys a freaking Daedalus. You don't see this very often on Terrorblades. He is just concerned about his punch, man. He's like, I want to be able to punch as hard as possible. Let me go out swinging. The one thing about that fight, though, is now the only hero in this game without buyback is Chessie. It's going to be a long 7 minutes, my friend. Feels like this Visage just not useful anymore. And Visage is indeed going to change and rather go for the Assault Caress. I'm glad that this is the case. ACE. I think they're also recognizing that, yo, the additional armor for everybody could be very useful versus Terrorblade as well. And it's not like we have a Crimson Guard or anything. So, you know, that just has to happen. I love the fact that Era went and bought this Orchid. This is so bizarre. Check out what the Phantom Lancer did. Frost is almost unilaterally focusing on dealing with this Terrorblade. Buys the Abyssal Blade as well as the MKB. So any kind of evasion that Madara was confident in this game. The main thing though, right, is that they just don't have very easy... By the time that Terrorblade gets to a place where they can see him, probably the initiation is better for the side of Vega Squadron. I mean, I've been saying that it's only Kezu on this axe, but boy oh boy has Kezu not been showing up like a champion. I mean, look at this at top now. He's going directly onto Frost, dragging Frost back. And Dendi now, oh no, is going to get turned around upon with the Abyssal Blade onto him. The Doppelganger will still be there for the Phantom Lancer. He does have that 25 talent for the cooldown, so he should be able to keep himself pretty much up at all times. Yule Scepter now tossing MNT into the air. It was used aggressively by Hanskin, and they forced MNT to use the life drain, but they'll just back themselves away. This is another Roche with a refresher shard. Vega Squadron got the previous one, were not able to win a fight with it. Let us see what will happen if TFT find themselves in similar territory. 15 minutes into this game, and Vega Squadron still hanging on for dear life. They're 8,000 gold behind. The experience paints them in a negative light there as well at 5k. Pexu is now level 20, so got the... Yo! That is so much. 45 DPS on a spell that refreshes itself and hits 8 targets. Yeah. Good times. Good times. Like, this spell is insane now. They are rushing though. And Vega Squadron will obviously be aware of this. Yo! Frost just picked up an Arcane Rune, so 2.8 second cooldown on the Doppelganger. Kezu jumping forward with the call, going to catch Jonas and Fan. Jonas and Fan pushed out of the Nimbus Cloud for the time being. All these illusions spawning all over the show. They're going to try to bring down this Netherward. It's not dead just yet. Get decrypt for the time being. The illusions from Madara drawing their attention away from Frost. And just the illusions fighting. What the hell is happening over here? They're fighting over this Netherward. They really want to try and bring this down. Kezu will find the core inside the Roshan pit. They're going to be able to find Frost. Frost not dead yet, but there's going to be the Winter's Curse onto the Terrorblade. They need to find this Aegis, and Frost is going to be able to pick it up. The Reaper side will be there. Hasn't killed anybody just yet. They only get the first life away from Frost right now. Madara coming back into this. Jonas and Farm died too. Lightning Bolt brings down Hanskin. Dendi going to get stunned up right now. Aeon Disc will keep him alive for the time being, but Frost going to get called back by Kezu. Shiva's God will be there from Jonas and Farm. Shallow Grave going to be used by the Dazzle onto himself, and now there's going to be a Sunder. Jonas and Farm in trouble, surrounded by Madara, going to get life drained by MNT. MNT making sure that Madara can kill him, but the 4-star forward delaying this for now. They get the avalanche going. Sunder coming in from Madara once again, and the reflection on the high ground does get the double kill for him. It's going to be another one for Madara. Frost is the last man standing, fighting. It's just him against the world. Era is also nearby, but Frost just does not have the damage, does not have the ability. He's going to turn onto Dendi. He really wants to fight this, but these calls are coming from everywhere. He needs to get out of this. Frost, my friend, you've already committed way too far. Can he get himself away and escape? Dendi gonna be the one that gets brought down. In fact, the Abyssal Blade will be there, and Frost does end up dying though. Madara finds that kill, but they will not be able to get much more off of that. Era has retreated, and 4 heroes have gone down. Frost gonna be forced to buy back because 2 of his compatriots died back in that engagement. Buyback will be there from Zeus as well, and Vega Squadron gonna go onto the high ground. Madara uses the Metamorphosis. They take the tier 3 tower. Can they take this fight though? I'm not so sure they should be here for Vega Squadron. Winter's Curse is back online. Kezu looking for an opportunity to go in and jump onto the core onto Era. There's going to be the call. It catches the FL, and will there be a Winter's Curse? Yes, there will be. They find Madara, but they should have done it the other way around. Now Frost, they should be able to claim the Rex at middle. Still 50 seconds without the Visage having brought back before, and Vega Squadron want to try and win the game right now. They're going to try and extend the series. They're going to take us to a third game. GG. Probably not far in the offing. Winter's Curse used again, but Madara unable to make anything work off of this Frost. Turning his attention towards Dendy. The call will be there from Kezu. Does catch onto him. Frost is dead. And that should be the game. GG should be coming very soon. As the Ancient is being destroyed. Okay, server, please don't do this. And game number 2 between the final tribe on the back of Madara. Madara, guys. Madara. Ends up almost solo carrying this game. Him and Kezu just made the difference. I think they just team fought better. That one play where they managed to prevent their own racks from going down in the mid lane by making that fake out play at bottom with Madara, I think absolutely saved this game. And Madara doesn't even die a single time on this Terror Blade. 871 GPM. How much damage did he even do to heroes? 54,000 damage dealt. Oh my goodness. He dealt more damage than a Zeus with Ags. And dealt more damage than almost the entirety of the final tribe combined. This was a masterclass showing from the Greek man on this Terror Blade. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a small break while the teams load in for the third game to round off this series. And we will see Vega Squadron keeping their hopes and dreams alive here in DreamLeague. You know, I mean, it is called DreamLeague. That literally is right there in the name. If something weird is going to happen, it's going to happen here at this tournament. So game 3 coming soon, very soon, ladies and gentlemen, between Vega Squadron and the final tribe here in the DreamLeague playoffs. The loser of game number 3 will be knocked out of the tournament. So it is very important for both lineups. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game 3 between Vega Squadron and the final tribe here in the playoffs of DreamLeague Season 10.
I see clear when the world doesn't show it to me. It's so hard to make sense in the cycle of billing. Trying to find a reason to quit and make a killing. I admit, or dealing is painful, like a star upon a child staring down from the ceiling. How far do we have to stretch the picture before pixelating the human texture? We can take it all back to the register and start all over from the canister and save it all up for an ultimate prize. Homecoming gathering with the big surprise. Throw on your favorite record that's good to go on the analog table and it's up to flow. Sit back with these to hear the MC flow. Hi-hat, kick drum, all the highs and lows. It's funny how the music put times in perspective. Add a soundtrack to your life and perfect it. Whenever you are, feel it will keep walking and we can't get far. Yeah, wherever you are. Funny how the music put times in perspective. Add a soundtrack to your life and perfect it. Whenever you are, feel it will keep walking and we can't get far. Wherever you are. Okay, we can take it all back to the register and start all over from the canister. Let's break it all down into pieces of bright moments that pass by like a meteorite. Throw on your favorite jacket and you're good to roll on the analog trail and you look to roll. Just stroll through the trees and let your miseries go. Sunshine, hurricane, all the highs and lows. Yeah, we can take it all back to the register and start all over from the canister. Let's break it all down into pieces of bright moments that pass by like a meteorite.
Alright.
10 seconds.
We out here, ladies and gentlemen. Game 3 between the Final Tribe and Vega Squadron in the DreamLeague Season 10 playoffs. And game 1 was what, 40 something minutes? No, 30 something minutes for Final Tribe. Really a whitewash for them. Then game 2, Vega was like, yo guys, remember us. Remember why we out here. And on the back of the Keizu axe, wow. Wow. Alright, Keizu axe and the Madara Terrorblade turned everything around and have now forced them into a third game where we'll be seeing how Vega Squadron will be matching up versus the Final Tribe and whether or not this will indeed be a victory that Vega Squadron can walk away with, or if the Final Tribe will finish the work they began in game 1 and eliminate Vega Squadron from this tournament and proceed to play up against Infamous tomorrow to see who can actually proceed furthermore into the bracket, carrying us towards the grand final. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here. I'm Snare, and this is the last game. As said, last draft. We see Vega, they understand, Keizu knows what's happening, right? They picked Axe game 1, didn't go well, it's chilled. He understood that the path to victory is still going to be in the hands of this Axe, and this Axe being present once more. They are still playing on the Dire side. Wait, have they played Dire all 3 games? Yeah, I think they have. So I wonder which team cares more about the side switches. Either way, Final Tribe responded to this axe by picking Shadow Demon and the Centaur. I'm not surprised that Vega Squadron went back for the Dazzle for Pexu. This is a very useful pick, just in general. And as well, the increased damage from the Shadow Word. Often, very often in that game, we saw Axe being kept alive at the very last moment, not actually dying when he might have otherwise, which gives him more potential to lay out a Battle Hunger or 2, maybe get off the Culling Blade, just be more disruptive.
Radiant team back.
I do kind of feel like that if they had a hero like the Centaur, the previous game would have been very different. But honestly, the reason I think why Final Tribe lost is similar to what we've been seeing a lot, just in general in Dota right now, where if you don't have on your position 3 or 4 a hero that will always start the fight for you positively. You know, Tiny is not a hero that will always start the fight for you positively. You can get up for a decent engagement with the Avalanche, but it's not like a Centaur, it's not like an Axe. It's not even like old school Terrorblades.
5 seconds remaining.
Not like Enigma, it's not like Void, you know. Heroes that you're like, okay, once this guy blinks in, the fight is going to go well for us if he gets off his spell in the right place. So now TFT do have that in the form of the Centaur Warrunner to be played by Yonosumfan, Vega. After the Zeus ban, what do they want to take out the pool next? Final Tribe, they're like, Madara dog, we see what you did there with that Terrorblade, but never again. And Vega respond by saying, okay fine, we're going to ban Chessie's Lina. So everyone is getting some superstar heroes taken out. So TFT now with the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon is not the most powerful support anymore. I do think it's underpicked, but it's not like OP. It's pretty good this game because if you don't get caught inside the Axe core, you can either disrupt the Axe or save the hero that's being gone on, which is something they were distinctly lacking in the previous game, having any kind of saving mechanism.
Radiant.
This is also a hero that can help you. Oh, actually, I really like this. The fact that they ban out the PL. They've taken out all the major illusion options, so they could do one of two things, right? They can either pick the Luna, or they leave the Luna, knowing that Vega Squadron, if they want to, can pick this, like the last hero that happily will spam out the map with Manta Star left. So if they pick, they're not going to pick Luna for Vega Squadron, given that there's Shadow Demon in the game already. So any position 1 hero that Vega Squadron picks is going to be someone that's going to be liable and susceptible to finding themselves getting caught with the demonic purge coming in from the SD. And I'm really laughing at myself because I thought of Batrider, because I know Batrider is very good against Axe in the early game. This is possible for Batrider, guys. Watch the space.
10 seconds remaining.
Because what's Axe going to do in lane versus Bat? And this is a hero that synergizes quite well with Shadow Demon. You can disrupt one target, lasso another, guarantee that you're going to win a fight. Or if someone gets gone on, you disrupt the person that's getting gone on, lasso the attacking target, and then still, suddenly you've got the natural advantage in that kind of situation. What? Okay. That's okay. That's a Doxia. Doxia versus Batrider and Centaur.
10 seconds.
So they'll have the surge that the Doxia can put on any given target. So it also means it's probably going to be pos 4 Axe then. Okay. They're trying to mix this up to respond to the Batrider. They realize that if they put Axe in the off lane while Batrider is the pos 4 hero, they're gonna completely get dumpstered, right? Because Batrider will spam napalms on you, and then when you're trying to run away, you just can't. Or Axe will just be completely irrelevant in that lane. I do think actually TFT could choose to go for some kind. This could be their tri lane here: Shadow Demon, Centaur, and the Batrider. Because if you disrupt someone, they'll get easily followed up with by a Hoofstomp from Centaur, and you'll be spamming them out with a sticky napalm, so they won't be able to turn away to run. Guaranteeing the kill in pretty much all but a few niche situations. And those niche situations, ironically, are Dazzle with Shallow Grave or Doxia managing to surge somebody so they can run away. I like the idea Vega Squadron's going for here. Although, I personally don't like Doxia. I think this game is going to have a phenomenal time. If you don't have an amazing game as the Doxia in this game, how do they start fight, right? Because Axe is going to struggle to get the very early Blink Dagger. Once the Blink Dagger is online for Axe, though, this game becomes very problematic for Final Tribe. Because Ion Shell on Axe, if he jumps in, catches anything more than one hero, immediately we can imagine that there will be follow-up with the Doxia wall. And when you try to run away after the duration of the Berserker's Call, you'll be vacuumed directly back into that one. Bloodseeker from Final Tribe at the very end of the second phase. It's going to be a safe lane hero. That's going to be played by Frost. This is the kind of game where, because of so much damage being dealt all across the show, between Shadow Demon, Batrider, Centaur, etc., going to be a lot of harass that Vega Squadron have to deal with. So Bloodseeker will always have some thirst buff on him. And Vega's answer to this is to pick up the Juggernaut, a hero that's going to have the healing ward. You're not going to struggle as much in the laning phase from the constant harass that comes out from TFT. This hero is also known to be decent against Batrider. Not that great versus Shadow Demon, but also pretty good against Bloodseeker. Because Bloodseeker, normally you'd buy BKB or Blade Mail as one of your defensive items, and you just run at a hero to fight them. Can't really run at Juggernaut. And because you run so fast, you're normally running faster than the rest of your team, so there's nobody else to juggle your Omni Slash hits with as Bloodseeker. So it's a pretty good pick against the BS.
Team back.
TFT end out this game by banning the DK. Vega Squadron also still need to figure out what TFT want to run in the mid lane. So TFT have tons of team fight right now. Not tons of it, but they've got lots of initiation rather. Their team fight is decent-ish. Vega, I think, does have better team fight at the moment. Also, man, Ion Shell onto Juggernaut with spin, and because of how fast Juggernaut can be, it's kind of crazy. Can also get surged forward as Jug to run forward and get off the Omni Slash, which has like 0 range, which is amazing versus Batrider as well, because Batrider is normally in like some weird place by himself.
Team pick.
They ban Husker, okay. So what magic hero are we getting for ourselves for Vega Squadron? In the mid lane. Are they gonna pick the Invoker? If they pick Invoker, I think TFC can just happily pick TA. I actually like TA here. The only hero it's kind of bad against is the Dazzle.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Maybe Axe sometimes. Oh, they go Tiny to end of the draft. Okay. I kind of like Tiny Mid. Depends on what TFT go for.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Monkey King.
You may now select your heroes.
This last pick MK for the mid lane. How do I feel? I actually like it. The only thing that he has to kind of struggle with is dealing with Blink Vacuum, perhaps. That'll drag him off the trees. Dendi can actually grab a tree right from under him, which collapses it. And Axe can call him, which makes him get off the tree. But otherwise, I think it's kind of hard to track this Monkey King's movements this game. Should also have a decent lane versus Dendi.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I'll be honest and say personally at the end of this draft, I do personally favor the TFT draft. Although a lot hinges on this early game. Like if Frost is not ahead of Madara at the first 15 minutes of the game, then Vega probably takes the game. Because I don't think Chessie is enough late game insurance by himself as the Monkey King. So here we go. The final game in the series, game number 3. The final tribe taking on Vega Squadron. It's a BO3, and it's gone the full distance. The previous series we saw only went 2-1. Also, congratulations, Vega Squadron. This is their first victory. Game number 2 was their first victory in the entire tournament, from the group stages onwards. So no matter what, they can leave the tournament saying, well, we took a game. You know, and you don't want to leave a tournament saying we didn't take any games, because that shows you learned nothing. But if you manage to take a game, you know, especially after losing game 1 so as badly as they did, you learn some stuff, can come back. So we'll be seeing here if they can replicate their success and bring us deeper into the tournament. Vega Squadron with Kezu, the captain of the team, playing on this Darkseer. Behind him we do have Peksu, once again handling the Dazzle. Dendi going to be playing the Tiny in the mid lane. We're going to have MNT maybe next time on the support Axe. Last but not least, Madara farming on the Juggernaut. Erstwhile TFT looking to try and stake out their claim as the better team versus Vega Squadron here. Didn't go well in game 1. In game 2, excuse me. Let's see if they can achieve different results here in game number 3. Jonas Farm is playing the Centaur era. Is going to be handling the Shadow Demon. We do see the Monkey King in the mid lane by Chessie. He's in mischief mode right now, just running around as a courier. Should still be fine. Hanskin on the Bat Rider, and last but not least, Frost on the Bloodseeker here. Is Hanskin going to try kill a courier? Or is he just going to stick around to harass Peksu? But he's going to get harassed actually for a while. It looks like they're tri-laning for a bit down at bottom. Or they're swapping these lanes. Hanskin is just drawing some attention away from Peksu. But eventually he's going to be able to be fine. And yeah, they were just harassing. Peksu's going to TP top. And this Axe Darkseer lane, yep, they're just going to Ion Shell him. He's going to just run forward and harass here. He's going to maybe go right in front of Hanskin's face. But Hanskin will actually see him with the sticky napalm. So they understand what's happening here. This is the ultimate. Like these two here, this Creole creep skips by himself already. Maybe next time as Axe. So now imagine he's going to be how hard he'll be creep skipping in tandem with this Iron Shell. It's going to be pretty ridiculous. In the mid lane, Chessie versus Dendi. This should be Chessie's playground here. Like Tiny should still be able to farm because of tree throw. But because of Jingu mastery, it's really difficult for Dendi to come up close to this lane. Because what are you going to do about this? And you know you won't be able to effectively trade forever. Like, this tree throw only gives you so much. And top, they actually get a kill onto Jonas from Pexu. With the poison thing, as well as the spin from the Juggernaut, the Blade Fury. They are able to get the kill onto the Centaur. Jonas, not very happy with this one. And also at bottom, we see MNT's insane creep skipping prowess coming into play here. Also in its own way, this is a good thing to do. Because this also gives CS towards the Doxia. Given that it's the Iron Shell that's going to kill the vast majority of these creeps, rather than the spin from MNT. This is so stupid, actually. This is the dumbest thing in the world. I am actually very unhappy seeing this, because this is going to dominate my pub's top lane. Disruption onto Jonas to save him for the time being. Allow him to evade the Poison Touch as well as Blade Fury combination in order to escape with his life. At bottom, we do see Frost getting cornered a little bit. Ran underneath the tier 1 tower with these creeps here. Hanskin trying to create some space here with the sticky napalm, but that's all he has at his disposal. He's thrown out several of them though, and Kezu is falling very low, but they haven't actually gotten the kill onto Frost yet. Frost is now going to end up dying. This lane for Hanskin and Frost is not going very well. The pushback with the flame break actually missed the days when that used to actually kill. Top lane though, meantime, they are able to find a kill onto the Juggernaut. Disruption most likely into the Hoof Stomp double edge. Yep. And they are able to claim the kill onto this Juggernaut. At the same time, Frost was the one that died here at bottom. So both carries being forced to pay the piper. And Hanskin, oh, with some honestly ridiculous creep skipping right now. He's got some stacks on him though. He does have Surge available. Flame Break was there, but there will also be a Blood Ride. Kezu, will he get caught inside this? Yes, he does. Frost could maybe try chase him, but they're looking towards MNT rather, because he has a Battle Hunger out onto Hanskin and will be able to get the kill onto him. This bottom lane really going very well for the side of Vega Squadron, but that's why you pick Doxia. You pick Doxia to win your lanes. If you're not winning your lanes when you have a Doxia on your team, or at least the Doxia lane itself, you're doing it wrong completely. This mid lane, as we see, Chessie is putting the screws onto Dendi, but especially with the level 2 Boundless Strike, this becomes all the more dangerous for the TI champion, or former TI champion. And Dendi only has 1 point into the tree grab, so life is complicated. Why not build Madara Ghost for this game? I haven't seen this hero in so long. Oh no, they might try to get a kill onto Jonas and Farm. Pexu doesn't have points into poison or have poison touch back off cooldown just yet though. So will not be able to secure the kill onto the Centaur Warner. They're looking for an excuse. They've got a lot of dot damage on the side of TFT. There's going to be a call catching on Hanskin. Hanskin will be able to help them get a stun and silence out onto Kezu. Kezu trying to run himself away, but one more right click from Hanskin will actually be able to find the killer. Now Frost is very fast with level 2 Thirst. They're going to try and chase down MNT. Top lane, Pexu also ends up going down, and maybe Madara might be in some kind of trouble. Doesn't seem so as of yet. There's going to be a call. Ooh, Hanskin will be able to evade it. And MNT, is he going to get blood righted? He does, but there's not enough chase potential from the Bloodseeker. Frost does not want to dive a tier 1 tower. He's going to try and maybe help secure this bounty rune here. Chessie, mid lane, Boundless Strike, puts him back up onto full, and now Dendi's the one that's in trouble. Going to get tossed back though. They should be fine. Double trade off of these bounty runes. Pexu pick up 2 on his side of the map. Hanskin and Frost will grab the others. Hanskin's just going to deny himself now. Good times. Just going to TP down to bottom. Oh, Doxia, what an annoying hero. Although now that they have a couple of more points into the Blood Rage for our Bloodseeker, this move that Kezu's pulling of just forcing this Iron Shell creep underneath the tier 1 tower, not going to be as effective as it was before, because Frost will always have HP back online from the Blood Rage, so he doesn't really care. It's like, whatever, man. He can just heal himself continually. Kezu's going to spend more time. Oh, toss back towards where MNT is, and there's going to be a call underneath the tier 1 tower. They find Chessie. So Dendi might be falling behind on CS, but still wily in his ways. The double damage rune, securing a kill onto the Monkey King. And will he get a rune for his efforts? Nope. They're going to try and maybe get a kill onto this axe down at bottom. MNT is being napalmed up right now. He does have TP out, but he's a bit too fast. Should be able to run himself away to safety. Frost can't chase him. No level 6 available.
Invisibility.
Kezu slowly but surely building into that Helmet Dominator after finishing the Soul Ring. Top lane, they might try something here. Spin onto Jonas and Farm. He's being caught with the Poison Touch. Disruption will be there to save him. Era most likely gonna be committing his life for that save. Trying to juke into the trees right now. And yep, that is gonna be the case. He does end up dying. Madara. He's 1-1-1 in this game thus far. Mid lane though, we'll also see an engagement. They're going on to Denji. Hanskin doesn't have level 6, but they still have Napalm as well as Firefly. And Jesse with the Jingu Mastery available. Doesn't have the tree down, so he can't keep chasing MNT. I mean, he has level 4 Jingu. Jesus Christ. Look how much damage he's dealing right now. Oh my goodness. And there's a spin underneath the tier 1 tower. Jonas and Farm will be able to find the kill. Era with the disruption. His team isn't nearby though, so if his team had immediately gone to the left hand side as they recognized that Jonas and Farm was being dove underneath the tier 1, perhaps they actually get a counter kill off of this. Chessie looking for Peksu. There's gonna be a poison touch, but look how low he's falling. Look, needs to find a really good angle for this boundless strike. Wow! Wow, Chessie, man. Crazy amounts of damage being dealt there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And he's just gonna stick around. He cancels out his TP. He stays here for a while. They're gonna send Jonas and Farm instead to the mid lane to farm against Dendi. Because he hasn't really had the best time at top. He's died twice. So needs some time to get level 6 in particular. Because this is gonna be a game where Stampede will be invaluable. Especially up against Madara. Once you see the blade spin coming out, you can Stampede away from it. Now Madara might be in some kind of trouble here. Gonna get disrupted. Okay. Has to watch himself. But they're just gonna send Hanskin up. There's an observer ward from Vega Squadron that scouts this, which means that MNT could try and roll through behind this. Instead, he's gonna turn his attention towards the mid lane. Once Jonas and Farm knows he's not level 6 yet, we're just gonna lay out some vision for now. One cool thing in this game that can happen is that because they have Tiny, Dendi can actually toss the axe before this hero has availability of the Blink Dagger. So he can start fights for his team very, very easily. He's putting out more wards, MNT, because he knows his other one is going to expire soon. And he might not have an easy opportunity to head that direction again. They've got now a ton of napalm stacks on these creeps. They want to try and take this gold. Stampede used now for the side of TFT. Really want Peksu. And Jesse will find him with the Boundless Strike. MNT probably gonna die too. There's gonna be a core coming in. There was a rupture and Jesse got Omni Slash, but he's still alive for now. Gonna die eventually. Next to the spin. MNT unfortunately can't keep fighting up against Frost. Frost now has shown himself. They've already gotten one kill. The wall will be dropped by Kezu. Frost will not try to walk through it. 2-man hoof stomp will come out. There will be a call as well. They really want to get on the other side of this fight. But what a well-placed wall. Jonas and Fan now running back through it, but there's going to be a blood right that protects him. Kezu running forward with the steer. There's going to be a toss from Dendi looking for the call. Jonas and Fan will eventually die in the avalanche. Catches Hanskin. Hanskin going to get a tree thrown at him. There's going to be a shrine popped on the other side of this. Disruption will be there. Coming in from Era. They're looking towards MNT. And the axe is going to get surrounded. Boundless Strike will be there. And Hanskin will end the dominating streak thanks to the Firefly bringing down the axe.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Frost should be able to at least get this bounty rune. There's a Monkey King right here. Oh, was that a Monkey King? I thought that was just tree going back, sorry. I thought it was a mischief Monkey King. So that was the first out and out rotation from Frost, as well as from Madara using the Omni Slash. Is this going to be old school Manta Diffusal Juggernaut? That's going to be amazing. I haven't seen that in so long. Looks like it is though. And bottom, Jonas and Fan. Jonas. Battle Hunger onto him. Hoof Stomp onto one. And there's going to be the Stampede. That's what I'm talking about. If you Stampede away from Madara with the Blade Fury, even if you was planning to use the ultimate in the form of the Omni Slash on you immediately afterwards, it's very difficult to actually make happen when all these heroes are running at max move speed. Although now they have Kezu here, so the Surge, Jonas and Fan is underneath the tier 1. He's gonna get Omnied. He's dead. He's looking for the hoof stomp though. They're trying to bait this out. Okay, there's gonna be the use of the Blade Fury. Hanskin does not have the lasso yet. He's gonna throw it out now, and they will be able to get off the wall or the vacuum. Also dragging back both heroes. The disruption onto Hanskin, keeping him alive for the time being. The Blood Ride will eventually end up triggering off. Jonas and Farm not dead yet, but now they've got the kill onto Kezu behind the tier 1 tower. And there's going to be a hoof stomp from Jonas and Farm onto Pexu as he's trying to escape from this violence at bottom. And 2 heroes will fall in exchange for 1.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Kezu very, very happy with himself there. Well, initially he was until he died, you know. Got off a 2-man vacuum. But then we finally saw the purpose of the Shadow Demon. The defensive disruption. And also I have to compliment Hanskin. Very nice touch. Waiting the maximum possible duration before deploying the lasso onto Madara. Madara with level 4 Blade Fury was reasonably certain it would kill Hanskin before the lasso came out. Unfortunately, he was shy of just about 150 damage. Which is not a lot at all. If Kezu had thrown out the Iron Shell onto Madara, they definitely would have gotten that kill onto Hanskin before the lasso, which also means that there will not be a Blood Rite that triggers. I mean, Madara ends up escaping, but that fight could have gone very, very well for the side of Vega Squadron if not for the actions of Hanskin, making sure that there is no Omni Slash to follow up that fight. So Stampede, they're going towards bottom, but they don't have the Bat Rider here, so they can't cancel this TP. And Frost, oh, they actually just get the kill with raw damage. Oh my god. Where did they find the damage for that? Okay, now we see the fight coming. Chessie has shown up. Wukong's come on the backside of things. They're going to lay out the Boundless Strike onto Pexu. Pexu, Shallow Graves himself. But Kezu will also just surge himself and will be able to escape. MNT will throw out the Berserker's Call to get more armor to stay alive. Blood Rite will still trigger onto him. Frost chasing him down. Will be able to find him and get the dominating spree. And this Bloodseeker now finishes off the Blade Mail at the exact same time too. Has it delivered on the courier.
Tower is under attack.
Top lane, Dendi was trying to get his team some advantage in the meantime. Almost has the Blink Dagger as well. However, did not manage to do so. I'm actually interested in this Bloodseeker buying Blade Mail this game. I mean, it's really, really good against stocks here, right? The more Iron Shells, the better in the fight. Just run around with Blade Mail and he's like, oh shit, this sucks. Madara now. Might actually end up getting brought down. No. He has to watch himself once the Bat Rider has Blink Dagger though. Because as much as Juggernaut can be one of the better anti-bat heroes, given that he can just spin himself out of the lane, or out of trouble, away from the sticky napalm. Also, Bat Rider, one of the best heroes towards keeping Madara in his Blade Mail for Blade Fury form. So if he goes Blade Fury, he has a much higher chance of getting lassoed and brought down before he can even use Omni Slash. They have smoke now for the side of Vega Squadron. They want to reveal this Blink Dagger from Dendi. Hanskin. Still on the bat, flying around. They're gonna search for it on Dendi. They get him. He walked right underneath an Observer Ward, so it's an outcome I can imagine. They're gonna now turn their attention towards this tier 1 tower. Should easily fall.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Erstwhile, Chessie has Echo Saber now, so MNT doesn't really want him to stay too close. Ideally wants him to just back away. So they get the tier 1 tower at bottom. Will they be able to connect onto getting the tier 1 top? It's very low on HP. 480 in fact for now. Looks like they're just going to keep farming the Radiant jungle for the time being. Kezu with this full Helmet Dom, running around with this Wild Ring Ripper. So giving a ton of armor to everybody and just pushing out all these waves quite easily. Hanskin shows up at bottom, but this is maybe not the best place to be, given that there's a Blink Dagger on Dendi. And he's using it, this Wild Ring Ripper, to scout out behind the fight. Avalanche toss, yep, Hanskin's dead. Feels bad. Another kill for Dendi. So final tribe now. Feeling like they've lost a lot of their momentum. Although I did say that at 15 minutes, this game is super easy for Vega if Madara is well ahead of Frost. And that is not the case. Madara is 1,000 gold behind what Frost is right now. And Frost is trying to build a Yule Scepter for his team. Crystallize, scouting out everyone. I think they know something's happening. They all ping out in this area. They're like, hey, we saw some jumping, so just be aware that there's probably a monkey in tow.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Bottom tier 2 tower shall fall in Vega Squadron. Still only have a 1k gold lead from taking that tower. Although it's getting a lot of gold on Kezu. Dendi as well. Gonna go for this Echo Saber as soon as humanly possible. They rotate Kezu out right now, which is a large sink of their gold at the moment. And the Radiant scan did indeed connect onto some of these Vega heroes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under
Oh,
attack.
Dendi. Is Peksu gonna be the one that gets gone on here? He's gonna he's trying to force them to use the lasso onto him, but Ira instead just chooses to say, fine, we'll disrupt you, it's cool. Kezu gets scouted, and Hanskin really wants to find somebody to lasso. There's gonna be Dendi jumping onto Hanskin instead. Wukong's command triggered from outside the trees. Kezu might get brought down here. He's gonna end up getting blood righted, losing his life. The Bloodseeker a bit too strong. The tier 1 tower is not gonna fall though, which is what they really need and want. This Yule is gonna be so great though for the Bloodseeker. It does yet again mean that TFT are gonna be completely stuck within the mid game, and I think other teams in the tournament watching this matchup can use the information of how they're playing right now to be able to draft accordingly, to be able to resist them when they're at their prime. We saw in game number 2 that Vega Squadron did that quite amicably. Let's see if that'll also be the case here in game 3. Kezu almost has the mech. Eventually he'll have the Guardian Greaves, which helps a lot for his team. The Echo Saber for Dendi is also finishing relatively soon. And Madara has the 4 Yasha halfway towards the Manta style. All they really need though for the side of TFT is Hanskin Blink Dagger, guys. Put this man in the jungle. He's gonna die again. Put him in the jungle. What are you doing? We do see now smoke. 4 heroes from Vega. Dendi gonna get searched forward. Jonas and Farm is hiding in the trees right now. Jonas gonna be a jump in on the back end of the fight. They want Ira as soon as humanly possible, but there's gonna be a rupture onto Dendi, and there's gonna be a call from Kezu. After the Omni Slash as well, they bring down Chessie very quickly into this now. Dendi will be able to TP away the Blood Right. Will it only trigger only onto Madara right now? Madara is silenced, but Kezu is not. Now it's after the lasso as well from Hanskin. So it is a 1-0 trade at the moment. A definite victory for Vega Squadron. Can they get the deny of the tier 1 tower? Oh, Hanskin can't get it. Just doesn't deal enough damage, unfortunately. And Madara does. So Madara gets the gold. Now suddenly, Vega Squadron, they've claimed much more territory than the side of TFT. TFT still does have a little bit more gold on the Monkey King as well as Bloodseeker. Mid lane, we're going to see the reveal of the Yule Scepter from the Bloodseeker. The blink forward from Jonas and Farm as well. That's the blink dagger that just came out. And Frost able to get himself a mega kill spree.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
And they're going to take down this tier 1 tower mid. They are smoked.
Are fortified.
And Frost is not going to pretend that he sees the... Oh, he actually is just going to take it down with the hatchet. So the rest of Vega Squadron should be aware that somebody just placed a sentry here. And it's likely a smoked target. And we see the mass pings. They are aware that something is awry. They're not going to defend this tier 1 at all. Chessie was hoping, but your hope is in vain, my friend. The one thing about their draft is it takes so long to kill towers. Oh my god.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And they know where Chessie is. They're pinging that exact spot. Hell, Kezu is even saying, yo guys, I know what's up. Should we just stay away from here? You know? And they back off. And that is game, at least for the tower. Tower's gone. Took forever though. It's probably going to be the story of this game for quite some time. Pexu is going to try and de-ward on the high ground. He's going to succeed in doing so. Well done, my friend. And this is a brand new ward that was placed. So well done, Pexu. Yo, guys, they really have been evolving up against this TFT team. MNT has Blink Dagger already. They're going to fire Frost. Oh, what a quick Yules. Almost like they had vision there. Dendi now going to go directly onto front. They're going to be a Wukong's command used by Chelsea after the Boundless Strike as well. Huge Lansu flying out onto Madara. Madara will be able to get out, be able to spin as well. Can he TP out to safety? The Shallow Grave will be there. He's still alive. Might he want an Omni Slash though to keep this fight going? Yes, he does. He goes directly onto Chelsea and Chelsea will die. Madara now will be able to escape this one hero done. Core coming in from MNT onto the backline of the fight. They find Hanskin as well as Ira. Ira's going to be in some kind of trouble right now. They'll throw coming in from Dendi. They get the chop onto him. 3 heroes have gone down at bottom. And yo, suddenly they can maybe go into this high ground push. Pexu gonna have Weave again in 8 seconds. And there's gonna be the bonus armor. Should enable them to grab this tier 3 tower and get out safely. The Shrine is gonna be in trouble now. And suddenly Vega Squadron, man. They've decided we're gonna play more aggressively than you. We shall meet you not later when we're stronger. We're going to meet you right now. They take the fight. They take the tier 3. That was... Okay, so a lot of incredible things happened there, right? So first, they jump in with MNT trying to catch out this Bloodseeker. Immediately, he gets used up into the air. And you think, oh, this might actually go south. Bloodseeker heads towards this side of the map. Immediately after we trying to run away, Dendi jumps him, gets the combo onto him. It doesn't kill him as of yet, but it does prevent him from being able to throw out the Rupture immediately. He backs away for a second, lays on a Blood Rite. Chessie jumps on top of that Blood Rite, gets off the Wukong's command, and he goes into this fight, right? He gets lassoed and everything on Madara, and at the very last minute, just when you think, okay, his death is all but guaranteed, suddenly here comes Pexu, the last minute Shallow Grave. Before the Shallow Grave, all he was doing was shadow waving Madara. So it seemed like they had some hope of killing him. Then the Shallow Grave comes out while he's spinning and you're like, oh crap, they can't do anything. He comes out of the Shallow Grave, goes into the Omni Slash, brings down Chessie, and is able to make the escape. So this team, Vega Squadron, perhaps can find an opening to take the Roshan right now. But instead, they just want to be walking past a Sentry Ward, which they don't see, which actually might just see their ward. We'll see with one of the future attempts here. Madara's gonna find Hanskin. Hanskin can Dendi get the blink onto a Unison farm. Will immediately trigger off the Stampede to get them all out of trouble. And they're both fine at top.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, MNT does find the call onto Frost mid lane. Then they drop the Ion Shell as well as the Wall of Vacuum. Or the Wall of Replica rather. They vacuum him too, by the way. So, yeah. He's very dead. And he's also the last remaining hope, it seems, for TFT to do very well. He's trying to build a Radiance now, but I'm not sure Radiance is actually the way to go. Especially considering Madara can still do physical damage through the Blade Fury. And you don't get mischance on the Omni Slash from Radiance. You get it from, like, Butterfly, as well as Heaven's Helper, but not Radiance. Madara now, with Ion Shell on him. Oh, he doesn't have the Ion Shell, it's just a Surge that KZ used on himself.
This'll come in handy.
Hanskin is still trying to find Blink Dagger. It's been very nice what Vega's been doing. They've been making sure that wherever Hanskin is, they just keep killing him, chain killing him. They're like, mate, without the Blink Dagger, you're not going to be able to achieve anything this game. And for all his protestations, unfortunately, Centaur is not Axe. Axe is just amazing right now. Juggernaut does go and buy the Maelstrom, which I find to be the perfect item pickup for this kind of game. An item that takes natural advantage of the fact that Juggernaut has the lowest base attack time in the entire game. I'm not going to count Alchemist because that's his ultimate that has lower. Hanskin is just creep skipping at top though. This is hilarious actually.
Radiant's middle tower.
Well, this is gonna work though. They're gonna get the tier 2 at top, it seems. Oh, will they? MNT is gonna show up and defend this.
Radiant's middle tower.
So they secure the tier 2 at middle. TP away. And Hanskin will not be able to finish his mission because MNT is gonna stand in front of the tower and tank us up. They could potentially just go for the shrine right now. Madara, which has this Aegis, Maelstrom, Manta style. I mean, lots of good shit, man.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
They have smoked right now on the side of TFT. They really want to find Vega Squadron. But Vega, on their last life in the tournament, seems like they finally found their groove. Loss after loss after loss after loss. With their backs against the wall, they finally turn this around. Now Hanskin probably dead again. Kezu also just bought Blink Dagger. He's 100% dead. Bye, dude. Bye bye. They still have Aegis for quite some time. I would go for high ground now. They have all their ultimates. They still have the Weave. Dendi now has Shadow Blade. Madara will very soon have the Mjolnir. And you have Blink on Kezu. I think this is the big ticket item. So that you can get the full Blink vacuum into the Wall of Replica combination. Hell, you can even just lay the Wall of Replica behind the fight and dare them to come fight. But for now, I think it's more prudent to just try and take the fight. Centaur, Jonas and Farm going to be forced to TP back. Cannot allow this to go for free. The Weave be there on all 5 heroes from the side of Vega Squadron. Madara. There's gonna be a call now into the trees. They found Jesse. Omni Slash directly onto the Monkey King. Monkey King is gonna end up being kept alive thanks to all his allies coming around him to bounce off these blades. Kezu falling very low. Shallow Grave will be there to keep him alive at the very end of this. Dendi now running away from the Demonic Purge. Blood Rite will be there. Can they kill the Rock? Wukong's command will come down. They've gotten Kezu and now they've gotten Tiny. Madara trying to spin himself away. Spin to win to stay alive, and they're just gonna turn onto Peksu. Bounder Strike hits. Not Bounder Strike, Jingu Mastery hits rather. Will be enough to secure this. Frost chasing the Axe. Axe uses him up into the air. Also gets the blink away. MNT will be fine. But they lose 2 core heroes for that. That was very, very bizarre the way it broke out. I can't believe they actually decided to jump on the Monkey King here in the corner. I feel like you get a call onto him. You just keep pushing this tower. Pushing the Axe. You're not here to get kills. You're here to try and win the game. Now, because of how awry all of that went, Hanskin now has Blink Dagger.
Is under attack.
And unfortunately, Kezu, we did not get to see the full complement of spells coming in from him. MNT will catch the call out onto 1 hero. The wall will only catch Jonas and Farm, and nobody was found inside the vacuum, unfortunately. Chessie had popped BKB. Hofstomp will be there out onto Kezu on the backside of it. Chessie running away with the tree dance. Didn't get the additional tree dance distance talent. Got the damage instead for the Jingu Mastery.
Middle tower is under attack.
But either way, they come back and they defend their tier 2. Kezu. Nobody had to buy back for that one, so they're just like, oops guys, we messed up. Jonas Found now will still have a full pipe of insight for his team,
Radiant's top
which will
tower
assist him
is under
greatly.
attack.
And Chessie, without that BKB, might have been in some serious trouble.
Is under attack.
The Aegis will now lapse.
Radiant's
So Madara is mortal. Well, he does have the full Mjolnir. I do suppose one of the things about what TFT did after this fight, it just what they've been doing, what each team has been doing when they're in a losing position, and what I think more teams should be doing, just push out the lanes. They know on the side of TFT that Vega Squadron primarily prefer to fight as a team.
under attack.
So you're just going to try and annoy them, frustrate attempts to do that as much as possible by pushing out different parts of the map,
Dire's bottom
creep skipping behind them as they're trying to make things happen. Stampede down at bottom. Jonas Farm trying to get himself away. Probably going to get caught out. He did get called. There will be an aggressive weave onto him now. Hoof Stomp will be there trying to TP away. Can Dendi get the damage out? The vacuum will be there from Kezu. And Jonas Farm will die. Plus 75 AoE vacuum. Yeah, I think I agree with that. This is not the game for the plus 12 regen. even though Chidawi God, the man I learned how to cast cast and play Doxia from, he always advocates that you get the 12 regen. I feel like there's games where the AoE vacuum is too good, such as this one. Being able to bring heroes that don't like to actually stand too close to one another, bring them all into one focal point, you know, can also get them all caught with the avalanche. 31 minutes in to game number 3 at the they get the kill onto Chessie. Did MNT find him solo? Oh my god, because of the blade mail, the Jingu mastery did the work required for them to get the kill. 2000 damage was dealt by the MK. Does he have access to buyback? Yes, he does. Almost a certainty that he will be forced to expend it. And Chessie falling prey of the axe once again. Seems like Vega Squadron. Any future team that's playing against the team, just ban axe, guys. Lasso now finally flying out. They found Madara. Can they kill Madara? Yes, they can. And they're going to jump forward with the hoof stomp directly onto Peksu. Peksu's going to die before he can even get off the shallow grave, and that's going to be the case. Toss up into the air with the Yule Scepter for Kezu. Kezu going to get silenced before he can surge himself out of trouble. He will pop the Guardian Greaves to get rid of the silence, and then use the Wall of Replica to take the further fight. But that's just going to be that. They get those kills. Buyback, only a single one forced by Chessie. However, the kills they get in reply, definitely well worth it. Now, how far can they go with this, though? Oh, nice. Look what they're doing. They're going to send these Axe Illusions down to bottom, so that the Axe Illusions can just spin onto this Axe.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Next, Roshan is going to be in quite some time, so we will not unfortunately be able to see what will transpire around fighting on the pit for quite a few minutes. But it does seem like Vega Squadron are loath to wait a few minutes in order to take their next fight. They're going to smoke up as 4 right now, heading on the hunt with Madara leading the charge. So Madara has the full... didn't go for the Diffusal Blade this game. Okay, they're going to be in a weave onto several heroes. Oh no, do they see Chessie? I think they saw Chessie. Can they... Oh, they don't get the call. Very good news for them. Hanskin will be able to find the lasso. Going to put the Juggernaut onto the high ground. They don't want him to be involved in this fight whatsoever. Oh, but he gets off the Omni Slash. That'll get him off. They do manage to find the axe kill on the backside of the fight. Jonas and Farm has already used the Stampede. Running away right now. He's drawing fire from several heroes. Can he get off the Hoof Stomp in time? 1 more second until he has the stun. Not going to be able to find him because of the 3-man vacuum. There is going to be a disruption from Era just to try and keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Will he succeed in doing so? No. Gets a 3 thrown in his face for his troubles. Now Yule Scepter into the air for Kezu. Chessie looking for the Bounder Strike. Will be able to interrupt the TPs. And there's going to be a follow-up Hoof Stomp. And look at the double edge. They give that kill towards Jonas and Farm. And now Kezu suddenly finding himself isolated and in trouble. That was Madara that ended up dying as well, who was kept alive for so long in this fight. Jonas and Farm with the buyback, taking this game even further. This is an elimination game, so the loser of this one game, whichever Ancient falls first, that team out of this tournament simultaneously. Oh. Frost has this Radiance. We'll see how much it aids him in future endeavors now. Radiance with the Manta style. I kind of feel like... Does he even go BKB? Like, Manta is really good versus Jug. BKB is only really good against the Tiny. But there's also Axe to worry about. I don't know. Chessie wants Eye of Skadi next. Madara still going for that Lincoln Sphere. Yo, the last 2 deaths have really stymied his progression. There was a point where he was looking to be far and away the clear net worth leader for Scrum time, but dying at inopportune moments makes that somewhat difficult. Roche now back online. Both teams know it's back, and both teams know the other team knows it's back. The question is, how shall they respond? Oh my goodness. Now I just realized, guys. I just realized that Bloodseeker went for the Rupture damage talent, which is amazing. I haven't seen that talent in such a long time. Almost everybody picks up the plus 25% lifesteal. I do suppose that in this game, the kind of heroes he's playing against, especially with like Surge and the like, Surges, heals from the healing ward, all these kind of things. Axe now jumping forward. They found Madara. They're going to get him inside the Wukong's command. But a huge vacuum coming in from Kezu, finding on several heroes. They haven't actually managed to bring down Madara as of yet. They get Madara, but at the same time, they do bring down Hanskin. Call coming in from the Axe directly onto the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker going to get disrupted now, kept alive for the time being. Buyback coming in from Kezu as well to go back into this. Frost now running in on the backside of the fight. They're looking for MNT. MNT, 4 poison stacks on him. Going to be able to get the call, but he got called the wrong heroes today. It's Chessie and Frost on the Bloodseeker and the Monkey King respectively, who are able to take that engagement. The third buyback coming in from Vega Squadron. Axe, Madara, and the Doxier all have brought back. They're back gambling right now. They say, well, they've used all their ultimates. How are they going to fight us in the pit? There's going to be a blood right in a single second. Can Frost find this? This Roche is going down fairly fast right now. There's going to be the defensive weave, rather. I have to watch Jonas and farm. This Centaur can still be very effective. They call him on the high ground. They get the poison touch onto him as well. The Boundless Strike will be there to interrupt him, and they're going to force off him into a safer position. The Yule Scepter onto Madara does not allow him the ability to jump in with the Omni Slash. And Chessie is now sitting on a tree. They're creating so... This is taking so much time. I don't think they can do this, Vega Squadron. They're going to try Shadow Blade back in with Dendi. But I don't think TFT are going to fall for this one. Hanskin has Lasso back. Wukong's command is back in 6. Stampede is back. Rupture is back. The window is closed. And the final tribe are going to extend the nature of the stalemate around this Roshan pit. Vega Squadron have BKB on Dendi that they itching to use. Kezu, they want him to be able to get off another sick vacuum wall. The one at top was not terrible. He caught 3 heroes inside it, but unfortunately, there was no follow-up because Madara was at the brink of death and died very, very fast as soon as the shallow grave went down. He got Hanskin in the process, but unfortunately, killing a Firefight Batrider just to die to Firefly yourself, hashtag not worth. They need some sentries around here for the side of TFT. There's some sentries for Vega, but they don't have some well-positioned ones for them. So all they're relying on is this Dust of Appearance. It would be great if they had a ward on the other side, but that's not realistic right now. Roche, while the two teams are still mating, he is regenning HP. It's the cheese to fight over here. And Vega Squadron absolutely need to take this fight much more so than TFT does. They're the ones that have more recently committed their buybacks. And they know they can't that's why they're playing so cautiously. If they make a mistake going into the pit, then not only do they give up the Aegis, it's one thing to give up an Aegis, it's quite another to almost certainly give up a lane of Rax. Madara with their haste rune. They're going to try and do something scaly. They're going to smoke and head onto the backside of this fight. Who's carrying this smoke? Probably Peksu. Nobody has it? Lol's coming on the courier. This is a long time to wait. Wait, what the hell? They're just gonna walk raw? What the hell? Lasso now flying out. They've already gotten the catch onto this Axe. Axe is one of the heroes that you absolutely want to kill first. Host stomp onto the backline of the fight. Dendi wasn't able to catch out Jonas Farm. He's looking for Frost. Frost ruptures him now. The banishments from Era directly onto Madara. Madara can't really be involved in this fight as of yet. Jonas Farm with the 2-man down on the backside of this. There is a spin right now from the Juggernaut. Maybe next time we'll be able to bring down Hanskin. He's gonna lose his life to Chessie though. No, he will not. Not as of yet though, because there is going to be a shallow grave, and now they open up space for the Omni Slash to fly through. Frost dies as well. How the hell did he get brought down? Dendi with the double damage rune made that happen. Hanskin, he buys back. Bloodseeker buys back as well. It's the TFT's turn to take some risks to try and save this game. But I suspect that MNT is willing to sacrifice his life just to interrupt the snatch. And now we see Kezu going out. They got the wall of replica out. They see Era. MNT really wants to find the core. Can he find Frost? If he finds Frost, this is so big. They're gonna... Oh, Yule Scepter will be immediately there, but they're gonna be able to catch him with the Centaur Conqueror Host Stomp. This was a buyback on the Bloodseeker. This is a dieback on the Bloodseeker. 2 minutes in the grave. Host Stomp from Jonas and Farm caught 3 heroes, but the toss forward for MNT looking for Jonas and Farm. Jonas also getting dragged back into the fray. He doesn't have buyback either for another 40 seconds. He cannot afford to die here. And he does not. At least not yet. The creep wave is too far away because Hanskin has just been pushing out this top lane with double sea dragons, and he's gonna go mid and try and achieve similar results. Peksu will throw out the mass shadow wave on the poison touch, rather onto the creep wave. Hanskin is just delaying this game and saving it for his team. He might end up dying here. He's gonna get used up into the air by MNT. MNT will call him, and the axe. Does he have this lasso? Nicely done by Hanskin. Throws lasso and just TPs away. That's actually some game-saving maneuvers right there. He doesn't do that, they lose. They might actually have just lost right then and there. But as they were pushing, they wanted to get the tier 3 tower at top. They realized, what the hell is our creep wave? Why is that over here? And he does a similar thing when Peksu tries to encourage the mid lane to push out as well. So by the time they get to the other side of the map, Bloodseeker will almost be back online, but they are still pushing relatively quickly. 30 seconds where it's 4v5. They don't have their most farmed hero. They don't have Rupture. They don't have Bloodright. Definitely one lane of racks. Will it be 2 is the question. Chessie has BKB as well as Eye of Skadi, but buybacks are in short supply. Only available for the Tiny and now for the Dazzle as well. It's just come back. No one else has buyback. They took the mid lane. They left the mid lane alone, rather. Take the bottom lane. And they will now retreat from this one. Vega Squadron. Very much ahead. On the cusp of transitioning what was an awful group stage and a terrible game 1 here in the playoffs. Transitioning that into a deeper run in the bracket than what we see from the side of TFT, who took out some very stiff competition. Have taken some games with some of the best. Now Lincoln Sphere available for Jug. This hero is nearly impossible to actually target and kill now. Era level 22 with the Shadow Demon. Shadow Poison cooldown. I kind of would have liked the Soul Catcher cooldown reduction, but you know, it's fine. Basically means permanent Shadow Poison. MNT is gonna try and catch Chessie at top as Chessie Primal Springs down into this creep wave. We're just gonna try a Boundless Strike it from afar. Alright, there we go, he's dead. Woo! Nicely done by Chessie. Chessie was waiting for that one. Unfortunately, MNT wasn't smoked up or invis or anything, so was not able to find that match, find that catch rather. You know, some farm. Just double waving things here in the mid lane. He went for the 20 strength. I would have actually maybe preferred the additional double edge damage this game because of how useful it's been. At, in particular, bringing down Madara before he's able to use the Omni Slash. But I also understand that he wants to be able to survive these fights more than anything. Longer duration survival for Centaur means that greater opportunities for there to be such stomps, such things as stomps and whatever. And constant double edges. Vega trying again. Lasso directly onto MNT. They really want to try to bring down this Axe. Axe is going to get brought down. Axe is dead. And without the Berserker's Call, not sure you really want to go for this kind of play. They're going to get forced back now here in the mid lane. You know, I was supposed to be somewhere an hour ago, because I was like, oh no, there's no way that these games are going to take that long. Lol. 80 minutes, and now we have one approaching 50. Tiny. We'll pick up the assault cuirass. They're just waiting for the axe. Axe is dead for so long. Jesus Christ. Level 22 axe is dead for like 80 seconds there. Did he die back from a previous engagement? Just feels very like... It feels like a really late cooldown. Era. Yule Scepter is available. Or being built up by him. They're going to smoke now on the side of TFT. They really want to try and find this engagement. Jonas and Farm running with Hanskin at the forefront of this push. Vega Squadron have backed off inside their base. Getting to a stage where buybacks are once again becoming relevant and prevalent across the map. Chessie just sleeping around right now. And the smoke will not yield any results. Vega Squadron were well aware that something might happen there. And I think they're probably going to want to wait for another ages. Frost wants Ayaskadi as well. He's about to hit 25. Which in this game probably means the Blood Rite cooldown. I think Blood Rite's probably been the spell that saved him the most from really awkward engagements. Era 25 will probably get the disruption charges because of how good that's been for them. At 20, Hanskin should get the cooldown reduction because they need Lasso desperately. Chessie needs to get the additional armor, I think, rather than getting the commanding size. I mean, the commanding size is useful, right? But being able to stand and man fight versus Juggernaut, even inside his own Wukong's command, because right now he actually can't. If they don't Lasso Jug can just run at Wukong, run at the Monkey King, right click him and kill him.
The Juggernaut's power is doubled.
So if he gets the additional armor, that'll no longer be the case. Wukong's command will be an unassailable position for him. AC being built up by the Monkey King. If he's going for AC, he's definitely going to go for the command ring. There's no way that you buy AC and also get the armor talent. Hanskin looking for an opportunity perhaps. He's going to go for it. He's looking for the blink, the lasso. Oh, they don't get it. The Omni Slash will be there. There will be a disruption, however, to keep Hanskin alive for the time being. And here's Kezu. 3-man vacuum wall. Dandy on the backside of the fight looking towards Frost. Gets used up into the air though. Crimson Guard was triggered up by the Centaur runner. And they're all just going to back themselves away. Chessie is on a very weird place in this fight. But Vega Squadron seem like they're scared to actually go in right now. They have a little bit of a window, right? If they don't take this window, then I don't know when this game is going to end. It's going to be like 20 more minutes. Because they could actually go right, like literally right now through mid. But Lasso's back online again though. Sorry. This game, these values don't actually matter that we see. Oh, Lasso onto Dendi. Status resistance to mean this won't be a very long one. Chessie trying to close the gap here. The Demonic Purge onto him. Dendi will now pop the BKB, trying to run himself away with the Shadow Blade. And that's going to be enough for him to get an escape back towards the Roshan Pit, who will be up in 30 seconds. Neither of these teams wants to find themselves summarily dumped out of the first DPC event of the year. Oh no, the call now. They were going to find the kill onto the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon is going to find himself getting brought down. Buyback will be there for the SD. I mean, that's fair, right? You have to buy back almost immediately in that situation. MNT looking to go and bring down Chessie. But Chessie has dealt with this scenario many times. Many times. Here at the first minor, ladies and gentlemen, nobody wants to give an inch in this final game between these two sides. The Infamous versus Runes one was a quick dispatchment by the side of Infamous. Here though, very evenly matched teams. 51 minutes in, buyback is all that matters. And the Juggernaut has Butterfly as well as the Mjolnir and Lincoln Sphere. Looking to get the MKB to be able to deal with some of this mischance that comes in from the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker still looking to finish off the Eye of Skadi. Although, if he buys the Skadi right now, won't have buyback. And nothing is more important than buyback right now. Well, maybe Roche. Aegis and Refresher is pretty important. But I kind of think buyback is a little bit more so right now. They're trying to take a fight now. Vega Squadron are smoked up. And Hanskin has a gem though, so you can see Dendi at the moment. He knows something's about to go down. The avalanche will fly out and Dendi will not find him. Hanskin's still alive. The core will still be there directly onto this Batrider. Bat should get bursted down from this. But probably nothing's going to happen because they're going to get pushed out elsewhere. Please kill the Roche. Please kill Roche. Buyback will be there from Hanskin. I honestly feel Vega could have won by now if they weren't playing as scared as they are. I have no idea why they're playing as terrified as they are playing right now. The only hero that they have to worry about really is Chessie on this Monkey King, as well as, well, they have to worry about Rupture, right? But Frost isn't outputting that much damage to the degree where you're afraid to go into him when you have this Juggernaut that has 56 armor right now on Jug. Not to mention the fact that he has this Butterfly as well. An absurd amount of physical resist. Okay, Lasso now will fly out onto Kezu. They want to try and get the kill onto the docks here. Or Pexu as soon as possible. There's going to be Kezu with the vac wall on the 3. Followed up by the Avalanche. The Omni Slash will fly through. Batrider's going to die. It's a die back onto him. They do kill Pexu, who's going to buy back almost immediately. Wukong's command was dropped down. But they do have too much damage onto Chessie. Chessie ends up getting brought down by the chop coming in from MNT. And they're still chasing on the other side of the fight. They want Frost. They also want Jonas and Farm. Jonas and Farm is going to get brought down by Madara. Madara, after that kill, will just chase directly onto Kezu, and Kezu will die. It's a triple kill for the Jug. Double buybacks will be there for the Centaur as well as the Bloodseeker. But certainly, defending against 5 heroes, they will not be able to do. Vega Squadron will play it a bit too safe, in my opinion, and go back and take Roche. They still have time to get the second laner axe though. As long as they don't faff around, which they probably will. I don't understand what's been happening in this game. We're veering on the hour mark right now. And game number 3. A nail biter, just like the second one. 14,000 gold in favor of the Vega Squadron lineup. The experience lead has now basically broken down to 0. And Madara and the boys are just going for the win. They're going for the W. This is how you gotta play Dota at the end right now. 20 seconds without the Monkey King. Not enough time to get megas, but enough time to win the game. MK. Frost. Now Jonas and Farm, they go in. There's going to be a 3-man host storm followed up by this Blood Rite. But where is the damage? MNT will not connect with the Berserker's Call on the backside of the fight. But they get the Yules out onto Frost. Frost in some kind of trouble right now. The Refresher Shot used by Kezu to get off the second Iron Shell. What are they doing? Why are they running away from winning this game? Oh my god. They're now going to fight underneath the Wukong's command. They're going to be able to lose Madara. Madara's going to find himself getting less suit up right now. Can't really participate in this fight. Still does have the Aegis of the Immortal, however. Chessie gonna get Omni. They're gonna end the Wukong's command. This Omni Slash is doing way too much damage. And there's gonna be a call as well from MNT. Madara gets himself another double kill. Still has his Aegis. He's still alive. And they're gonna turn on the backside of the fight. Frost managed to bring down Pexu. He's way too fast though. So he's gonna run around on the backside, trying to bait them into going on him. And Vega Squadron, oh my god, what are you doing with the game? The game is won over here. Oh my god. Madara's gonna heal up right now with the healing ward for the time being. Jonas and Fan will miss with the stomp, won't connect onto a top lane though. They do find Frost with the core and they chop him down with the culling blade. And they will be able to end his life. Era now tossed up into the air with the toss. Avalanche not even required. He stampedes for the time being. Yule Scepter to put him up. And that will be the call from MNT. Maybe next time, maybe next tournament. And GG, well played, as MNT secures the victory for his team. And Vega Squadron take the 2-1 victory here over the final tribe. My God. My God, what a game from both of these sides here. Both of these teams. Just, wow. What a long one. Another hour-long game that we saw happening here. Unfortunately, we see that it wasn't really ultimately possible for them on the side of Vega Squad on TFT to actually win the game at the end. They could not succeed with this Bloodseeker in the mid-game. Frost was not able to bring it home for his team, and they will be eliminated now here from DreamLeague Season 10. And Vega Squadron looked very weak in the group stages, look much stronger here today, and they secure the victory with some fortitude, and they will proceed deeper in the tournament, playing up against whoever loses between Tigers and Na'Vi later on today. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us for this contest. This was Vega Squadron versus the Final Tribe in DreamLeague Season 10. Unfortunately, Vega. Well, if you're a TFT fan, you'll be very sad to hear that Vega Squadron succeeded at making it. But we did it, ladies and gentlemen, and that's going to be the second team eliminated for today, unfortunately. And we'll be seeing further whether or not Vega Squadron can continue this run, or if it ends up being the case that they cannot actually keep this momentum going, and it was just got a lucky fluke. But let's give them praise, let's give them hype, let's give them our energy, and hope that they manage to keep securing wins furthermore. So ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for now. Vega Squadron versus the Final Tribe in the DreamLeague Season 10. I was with me, Sneh, casting here. And that's going to do it for this series. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for an amazing 3 hours, 3.5 hours of Dota 2 action between these two teams. I'll see you guys later. I'm Sneh, and I'm out.